you know, he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
It's Franky. Welcome to the think tank. So we have another morning of trial. Actually, I'm looking forward to today because it's supposed to be more recorded calls. So we tend to learn a lot when they do this. So I am just going to keep my eye out for our stream, and as soon as we get it, I'll grab it. So lots going on in the Lori Daybell case too, right? Lori Vallow Daybell, Lori Vallow, Lori Cox, Lori. So I did try to do a video this morning, but my system's really, really slow. So I didn't manage to get it out before this live. Still nothing, but they've got about 10 minutes. So much going on in this world. Oh, I wonder if it'll be the interrogation video. Well, that'd be something. Depending on how today goes is going to depend on how much I stream. I woke up pretty sick this morning, so there's that. Let me see. Where are my lovelies? Where are my lovelies? It did not show a time this morning. When I set it up last night, I had some problems with that as well, so I'm not sure who's going to see it right away, but not a problem. We got this. I will try and find out how much of that video I did this morning. I'll see how far it is from being finished. The crappy thing is it's still working off of StreamYard, which has been really, really slow lately. Ew. Trudeau announcement on putting Canada on the path. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I'm not a political person, but that family's not a personal favorite. So what do you guys think's going to happen today? Do you think that we might see some interrogation footage as well as the phone calls? Wouldn't that be an interesting day? They did say yesterday that they were moving along a lot faster. I'm going to do this, friends. I am going to get this out. Okay, then. Where we be? I don't even have the pandas up for us today. Okay. Searching, right. I could hear myself. Nothing I can grab as of yet. Orin and Orson West. There's another one that really needs to be looked at. Oh, good Lord. How did Velo's motion to be excused come off to the jury? That's a really good question. Yeah, she didn't want to be there to have to deal with what she did. Fatal hostage situation. Grady Judd. That was yesterday. Don't forget to look at East Idaho News. That guy's got some awesome information on the Lori Daybell case. These guys seem to pop up very last minute with their feed. I did do a video on, oh my goodness, the little guy from Texas. His parents did everything they possibly could to avoid dealing with what they possibly did with this little guy. They took off to India, just boom, gone. Doon, 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 doon. All righty, there it is. So now we just have to wait. Yeah, Noel. Isn't that something? Good morning, Shauna. I was just saying I'm going to play it by ear here. I woke up pretty sick. I'm living on Gravol, so I don't know if you guys know what Gravol is. It's like medication for, like you can just go to any store and get it to stop you from throwing up. Yeah, that poor little guy. I mean, it sounds like maybe whatever they did to them, he ended up in that shed at some point, and then God only knows where they moved him after that. They have been looking, but no luck as of yet. That poor little dude. Oh, look at my puma. Woo! Isn't that interesting? Yeah, they up and took off with their other 6 kids to India. Like, what the hell? Thank you, my friend. I knew last night that it was going to be this way. It kind of started in the middle of the night, but that's okay. Worst case scenario, I just won't talk much. I'll hide in my little corner. I'm expecting today to be pretty interesting. How are you doing, Shauna? I think of you lots. I got all Edward Scissorhand on my bangs. I don't know. My hairdresser always tells me, back away from the scissors. But when you've got to wait like 2 months to get into a decent hairdresser, it's like, oh my God, where's my scissors? Come on, let's listen to some of these recordings. I'm stoked. Let's put this biatch in her place. Sending love and thoughts your way always, Shauna. Absolutely. Yeah. They're usually pretty good. I mean, maybe 5 or 10 minutes here, but that's about it. So we should be able to go live with that soon. That's the best you can do, my friend. It's all you can do. The only thing that we really have any kind of control of in this life is how we deal with stuff. So I think of you. I'll sit here and suck on my frickin' ginger ale. You're lucky you've got those grandbabies. Shauna, my son doesn't want any kids, and it sounds like that's the way it's going to be. So I don't get to be a grandma. I have to love up everybody else's. I look a little bit odd walking down the street seeing newborns going, can I please sniff your baby? I just want to sniff your baby. Oh, did it, Shauna? Yeah, that is some very warped shit. I'll try and get that video that I did out at some point here this morning. I'll check and see how the download was going. But yeah, it's horrific. That poor grandfather, hey? He spent all of yesterday, I guess, just sobbing. I couldn't imagine. Do you know what I couldn't imagine is sitting in that room and not attacking that witch. I know I'd probably end up in like this, but oi. That's how it works, my friend. Busy little creature. Yeah. 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 My friend. Well, come on. Let's get going here. 2 minutes late. I'm not impatient or anything. Yeah, what those people did to those kids, oh my God. And I'm thinking it had to be Alex and Chad that did that, because I don't understand how she says, well, I was in my own apartment, but then yet, well, he unalived them in his apartment. We're talking about Alex, but then why were they found? If Alex did this, why were they found on Chad's property? I don't get it. They're just freaking monsters. And then you got this woman here. I was shocked when I found out she shot 3 times. Like, what? Yeah, I think you're right. I really think Mr. Daybell's influence was incredible with her. His stuff he writes is out there. Oh, I agree. I agree. It's my little brother's birthday. Little brother is 6'4" and 51. Ooh, 52. Yeah, absolutely, Shauna. Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad that they didn't realize that they are the demons, right? Unreal. Well, if they basically have, yeah, happy birthday, little brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't get to see him very often. I think it's probably been, it's funny as you get to be an adult. I bet you it's been, oh my word, I bet you I haven't seen him about 8 years. And there you are. Good morning, Mexi. Has someone finally made a real life Ghostbusters squad? Right? I'd be in. I'd be in. I want to do some ghost busting on Franky. Get hubby involved a little bit. We've got this whole area is supposed to be haunted due to some of the mass casualties that we've had. And there's one spot where they literally have 2 pits that are literally full of human remains that were unidentifiable and just dumped into these pits at the graveyard, but pits. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it'd be fun, Mexi. Hubby loves that stuff too, so I think that's probably what we'll do. We'll just wait for the weather to get a little bit warmer. And I'll buy a book. I might even have one book on the area on where is supposed to be haunted here. And I mean, it's all over the place, but let me see here. Yeah, it should be fun. Are you kidding me? Nope, not yet. Let me try this again.
So they understand what we're focusing on.
All right. Prosecution, do you have any other record to add?
Yes, people, good morning, Your Honor. It's the people's position that we agree with the court on the analysis of the cases that you decided. However, the jury is also going to be instructed on what insanity is. They're also going to be instructed, at least in the packet that we provided, that a layperson can weigh an opinion about insanity. At the end of the day, all of this goes to the weight of the testimony, because they also going to be getting instruction on the credibility of all witnesses. And they can base the amount of time that the witnesses have spent with the defendant and weigh their credibility on that. So the instructions of law will cure any concerns that defense has.
Okay. All right. And that was a long way to start the morning. Sorry about that. Anything we need to bring up outside the presence of the jury at this point in time?
No, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring the jury in.
Oh, I may have gotten this.
Are you going to start with the video?
No, I'll start with some testimony first, obviously. Yeah. And there's actually will be 4 videos during her testimony. The long one will be her interview that she conducted on January 29th, I think it is. It's about a little over 4 hours.
We'll also need to find a breaking point this
Yeah,
morning.
yep.
Okay.
Wow, lots coming out,
All
I
rise for the
think.
jury, please. Fine, it's all good. I'm positive. I can see it's fine. Thank you. May all be seated. Court will recall 20 CR 1358 People versus Letesha Stauch. Record should reflect the jury has returned to the courtroom. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Has anything occurred since we were last together that causes any of you to believe you could not continue to serve as a fair and impartial juror in this case? If so, please raise your hand. No response. All right. Yesterday, when we took our break, we were still in the midst of the prosecution's case in chief. That's where we will resume today. Mr. Allen, call your next witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would call Jessica Bethel. It's my understanding Mr. Cook is doing her cross. I don't know where Mr. Cook went.
Okay. He's going to be right back. I will say that we're good to go then. Okay. All right, Ms. Bethel, if you would raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about giving this man will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Go ahead and have a seat in the witness stand. Please watch your step as you step into the stand.
He's always so polite.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. Will you please introduce yourself to our jury and then spell your first and last name for the record?
Good morning. My name is Jessica Bethel, Jessica
Ms. Bethel, what do you do currently for work?
I'm currently a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. Did you at one point work for the El Paso County Sheriff's Office?
I did.
What was your last assignment with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office?
I was last assigned to the investigations division.
What kind of education and training allowed you to do that job?
I went through a post academy to become a sworn peace officer for the state of Colorado. And from there, I received on-the-job training and advanced my career into the investigations division.
Are you still a post-certified peace officer in the state of Colorado?
Yes, I am.
How long were you in law enforcement previously?
Total, including my time served as a civilian, would be 14 years.
I want to specifically get us oriented to January 2020 timeframe. Were you working at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office at that time?
Yes, I was.
What was your specific job assignment then?
I was assigned to the majors investigation team, which consisted of detectives that investigated homicides and robberies, assaults against people.
How many different homicide cases did you get involved with investigating, if you have a round figure?
Oh boy. I would say more than 100.
At some point, did you become involved in the Gannon Stauch disappearance case?
Yes, I did.
What was your role in that case?
I was assigned as the lead detective.
What does a lead detective do?
The lead detective coordinates the investigation mainly on a typical case and receives the leads and the information that's being collected by the other detectives. And then from there, analyzes that information and disseminates further leads, eventually leading up to either an arrest of the person or, looking at potentially a different suspect.
You said in the typical case, was there something about this particular case that made it different from those, what you would classify as a typical homicide investigation?
Yes.
What was different about it just from the initial standpoint?
Initially, this case was receiving a lot of attention in social media, and the case quickly grew to a multi-agency case.
Do you remember off the top of your head how many different agencies got involved with this investigation?
I would say close to 10, if not more.
Did that include both state Colorado agencies like the El Paso County Sheriff's Office and other agencies, also federal agencies?
Yes,
Did it also include agencies in other states?
yes, it did.
Would that include South Carolina and Florida?
Yes.
Because of the scope of this investigation, did that change the role of a lead investigator from the sheriff's office to some degree?
It did, yes.
In what way did that happen?
Because there was so much information coming in, I assumed more of an investigative role as opposed to sitting back and collecting all of the leads at once.
Would you classify the investigation as almost an all hands on deck effort?
Absolutely.
Speaking about just generally how the course of an investigation might go in a typical case, what are things that can influence the direction a case will develop into?
Things that can influence it, I would say whether or not we have witnesses available, whether or not there's video, whether or not the suspect is willing to do an interview with us. Those types of things can influence it.
What about the potential absence or existence of physical evidence?
Absolutely, that can influence it as well heavily.
You mentioned witnesses, willingness to give statements or lack of willingness to give statements. Can that also influence the course of an investigation?
Yes, it can.
What about misleading statements from witnesses? Can that have an influence on an investigation?
Yes, it can.
Those things that I just referenced, did some of those things occur in this case?
Yes, they did.
Did some of those things have a negative influence on the investigation?
Yes, they did.
Can you, in a general sense, tell us what some of those things might have been that caused a negative influence on the investigation?
This ultimately ended up being a homicide investigation, and we did not have a standard homicide scene where there would be, evidence of the homicide and a body. That was not present in this case. Also, the suspect providing alternate leads, multiple stories of what happened, also influenced how we proceeded with the case.
When you've got that sort of dynamic going where there's different stories being presented to the investigative team, do you have to sometimes chase those down to see if there's any validity to them?
We should always chase those down. Absolutely.
Okay, and why is that?
It's just as important whenever you're trying to prove that someone did something as to prove that they didn't do something. We need to act without bias. And so if they present something to us, we need to take that just as it's a credible piece of information and vet it before we determine that it's not a good lead.
When did you first become aware of this particular investigation? Do you remember?
January 28th.
So the day after Gannon was reported missing by a 911 call and a non-emergency call
That's correct.
by the defendant in this case?
Yes.
Because the initial call was for a missing or runaway child, did that cause a investigative impetus or momentum to try to find this child that potentially had run away?
Initially, patrol handled the case just as a missing or runaway child. But then later, when it was brought to our investigations, our attention, we realized that he was 11 years old. The weather, his medical conditions, it became more important to find him soon.
Were there lots of searches conducted in the area sort of surrounding the victim's home?
Yes, I was aware of many searches being done by neighbors, some coworkers of Albert's, and also law enforcement.
Did that include vast areas of field and even reservoirs and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Did any of those searches in the immediate area turn up any clues that would lead to any investigative leads that you could pursue?
No.
You said that you first learned of this case on January 28, 2020. Did you actually reach out to the person that ended up being the defendant in this case on that particular day.
Yes, I did.
Why did you make that effort?
I wanted to contact Letesha to speak with her more about Gannon's disappearance and to meet with her at preferably at her home so that I could look at his room to look for clues as to where he may have gone, if he had left anything behind, a note or any behavioral changes.
Were you able to talk to Letesha?
I was, yes.
How would you describe her demeanor on that phone call? Was she willing to talk to you?
I would say she was hesitant at best.
Do you remember how you described it in your reports?
I don't remember verbatim, no.
Okay, do you remember if you described it as being apprehensive, that she was apprehensive to talk to you?
Yes,
Did you specifically ask her at that particular time if you could go to the house and talk to her about what had happened?
yes, I did.
Did she agree to allow you to come to the house?
No, she did not.
Did she give a reason?
Yes, she told me that there were several young children in the home and she didn't want them overhearing what we were talking about.
What did you do then as far as trying to get her to sit down with you and give some sort of a statement to you?
I offered to meet her at a place of her choice. She ultimately asked that I meet her at Starbucks located on Fountain Mesa.
Prior to this particular phone call, had you ever met Letesha Stauch?
No,
Had you ever talked to her on the phone?
no,
Did you, in fact, then meet up with her at the Starbucks on Fountain Mesa?
I did.
Who was present for that interaction?
Letesha was present, Albert was present, my partner, Detective Mark Riley, was present, myself, and Jason Hess, Sergeant Jason Hess, also was present during part of it.
Okay. Did you actually do this contact with her and Mr. Stauch inside the Starbucks business?
Yes,
So was there a recording made of this particular interaction?
yes, there was.
Can you hear sort of the normal chatter that you would hear in a Starbucks on the recording of this?
Yes, you can.
And may I approach with People's Exhibit 335?
You may.
Ms. Bethel, do you recognize People's Exhibit 335?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
It is a disc containing a field interview with Mr. Stout and Letesha.
Is this the recording of what we were just talking about, your interaction with them at Starbucks on Fountain Mesa on January 28, 2020?
It is.
Have you had a chance to listen to that recording?
I did.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of that interview?
Yes.
Now, at this time, I'd move for admission of People's 335 and request permission to publish.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, Exhibit 335 will be admitted. Go ahead.
And before we publish it, the person that you had contact with that identified as Letesha Stauch, did that person have the same voice as the person you talked to on the phone just a little bit prior to this actual meeting?
Yes, she did.
Do you see that same person in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Will you please identify her for the jury, pointing out where she is sitting and what she's wearing?
She's sitting at the defendant's table. She has a pink shirt on.
With her head resting on her hand?
Yes.
I would ask that the record reflect she has identified the defendant.
The record will so reflect. Go ahead.
And then permission to publish People's 335, and it is 55 minutes and 54 seconds, Your Honor.
And is this audio only?
Yes, this is audio only.
All right, go ahead.
I wasn't sure like what you were gonna be in. Yeah.
So, do you guys want to stand out here or do you want to go in the?
You can go in.
Okay. I'm Detective Bethel, by the way. This is my partner, Detective Riley.
Sorry, I'm just a little. I was, Yeah, I'm not out.
I guarantee you, okay, if I put down there. So. So we were just notified about what's going on again, and so I just want to start from the beginning, to make sure that I have accurate information. So your name, ma'am?
It's TECIA. Same last name, Stauch. AUCH.
Your date of birth?
8483.
Give me the address, because I don't think that street name's right.
It's just Mandan, MANDAN.
How long have you guys lived there?
A little over a year.
And your name, sir?
First name is Eugene. Last name.
Your date of birth?
82.
All right. Where do you work, ma'am?
The beginning.
Which school?
I don't know. I don't like if I pay it for the other.
And you, sir?
I'm in Ashland. Full time.
So tell me a little bit about Mr. Gannon. How old is he? He's 11?
That's what y'all put out. That's, I'm not attention, that's not true.
Right. That's what I was told too.
So we were like, everything we've been basing the our mindset on, based on that.
But someone actually takes.
Yeah, technically last night, he texted me. I was in Oklahoma at Fort Sill for training. And I had to come home emergency. But he texted me last night. He's like, yeah, we saw him on the camera, came in, did not look distressed. Bought some chips, left on foot. I mean, I can show you the text if you can see it. But
Sure. When did you go to Fort Sill?
when? Yeah, I left Sunday. I've been there one day.
What school does Gannon attend?
Grand Mountain.
Grand Mountain?
Yeah, it's in our neighborhood.
I was gonna say, I think that's a new one that opened up down there. Tell me about his friends.
Most of his friends are right there, like right around our house. Like he has boys that live right at the end of the street. He plays with them most of the time. Braden is his name.
What's Braden's last name?
I mean, I got all his parents' phone numbers and we talk to him all the time. But
If I could get their number too.
yeah,
So we have Braden,
Braden, he's one. So they're like two families that live in the same house, but they're like related. So
Well, Connor, I know, but Connor is the Webster.
there's a Connor, but he goes to the Webster, obviously, like, because they rezoned him because of the new school or whatever, so he went there last year.
Connor's mom has been with us the past day or two.
She works at,
Yeah, she works at Webster.
so this is one of them. That's,
Ian,
so like I said, I think it's two brothers and their families live in the same house, and they got like 3 or 4 kids.
but that's associated to Braden.
I think that's Braden's uncle. I got Braden's mom in there too. But you can get to him through this guy. This is him.
When was the last time that Gannon went to school?
It's been last week.
yeah, so Gannon went to school on Friday.
Friday, yeah.
When does he return home from school?
I'm like 3:15-ish.
Yeah, 3:05 to 3:15,
Yeah.
they changed the new time of the school. Like it used to be like 3:30 to 3:45. Because of like snow days.
So Braden and Connor, are those the only two friends?
I mean,
I don't even know the parents.
I'm looking,
He wants to meet them all on top of the line, because he has numbers. I don't even, like, I know them from coming to our house. Like, I don't have a reply down.
there's one more. This, so Lily is really my daughter's friend, but she has a brother that's Gannon's age as well. and they kind of live like right behind us.
What is the brother's name?
Reese.
Reese.
I do know that
Yeah,
because I hear
Reese.
Lane say it all the time.
So they live on the next street over. And sometimes they'll ride their bikes over there, but they mainly play with these boys, these Braden. And then right next door to them is a group of girls that my daughter plays with.
Okay.
I just know their mom.
Campbell.
Canberra is the mom, and that's her number right there. 801. CAMBRA, I think.
So that's a mom of,
My daughter's friends. There's like three girls.
Well, one of them is the IDAHO.
Yeah, I mean, they're all, these kids are like, they range from like first grade to like they're six.
so these are neighbors.
Yeah, basically they live 2 or 3 houses down, but they live next door to one another. Two.
Okay.
And that's about it. That's all they really play with. Now he's got some other friends at school, but he never really goes to their house and stuff like that. The point of concern was this right here. This is where the concern started. I'll show you the text message he sent me. Okay, so this was, he stayed at home yesterday because his stomach was hurting.
So we got hiking on Sunday.
Okay, so yeah,
I would tell her that part.
Yeah, so-
She's about the stump. And we went to Garden of Gods and we get probably about, I don't know, a few miles out, a few feet in. He's like, oh, my stomach hurts. I'm like, yeah, it's probably because you haven't been, like exercising on it. He's had this problem for a while because he gets like really bad constipation. And so his stomach was hurting all through the night. And it was, you were either on the plane, something, we were like texting back and forth. And I was like, should I just stay at home? Because there was blood and stuff coming out of his blood a little bit. And so I was like, I didn't want him going to school like that, scared because of like multiple underwear.
Okay.
and he gets really down and embarrassed about
So,
that too.
yeah, so he gets embarrassed. He's very like emotional about that type of thing because he's sad about it. So he stayed at home. Well, we went about, we went and got good dogs, some new outfits. We got 2 new puppies. So we went and got a dog, got outfits at the Petco. He gets on hose, Nevada exit maybe. I don't know the numbers, but I know it's Nevada and that hose right there. And so we went to Nevada with the hose. He sat in the car because he wasn't feeling well, but I wanted to make sure he was gonna eat and I made him some Pedialyte and stuff like that. I think that's about it. Petco came back, whatever. So when we came back, he was texting you, and that's where you.
Yeah, so he had spilled a candle in the house, whatever, he was, because he felt like he was smelling bad because of his accident. He lit a candle and was playing, he spilled the candle, so he got really upset because he made a mess with that too, so.
So it turned a big.
So then this is where he starts texting me. I'm in Oklahoma. So he told me my tummy hurts, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just trying to stay positive, So he's worried about, Tisha said he was really worried about getting in trouble not for the accident, but for the candle thing. So then right here, I was like, we'll talk later. And he's like, do we have bath salts? And I'm like, immediately, I know what that's all about. So I'm like, what, what's going on? Where did he even hear this from? So I immediately texted her. I was like, we have a little bit for baths and stuff. So I was like, put all the stuff we use for our baths and put it away somewhere so he can't access it until we find out what's going on. And then I asked him for what.
So listen to that.
Yeah.
So with that, the day before, when he tells me this, I said, he came in and asked me, did we have any the day before, which was the Sunday? And I gave him a bath bomb because I really didn't know bath salt. I didn't know. So I gave him a bath bomb and we went to the bath. I still was clueless to the bath salts until we looked it up.
So then he tells me this, my friend said if I got some, we could play this weekend. And I told him, no, absolutely not. But we were still talking at this point. And then he was like, he went on a little bit, then he's like, his brother has a car for a sleepover if I can come over Friday. That's kind of the end of it, though. We need some more haze. So that's where we get the idea that he may have left. Well, no, he told her he was going to play. So,
Which he does.
which they do all the time. They walk out and they're like, where you going? Be back at such and such time. And they're always, maybe he's 10 minutes late, but nothing like this. So I don't even know who this friend is. That's the biggest concern on the surface. That's why, like she said, I always like to walk over there and meet, hey, this is blah, blah, blah.
We don't know anyone with a car.
Yeah. Yeah, with nobody
There-
finding that has
yeah.
an older sibling that drives, none of his friends that we're aware of. So we, from these other people, we got some names of other kids on the bus that he plays with. And so we kind of hunted them down last night. What they did while I was on the way back. Found one kid named Jimmy, but he wasn't, they hadn't seen him. And then they were like, well, this kid has an older brother or whatever. And they went to their house and they're like, no, we haven't seen him. So that's when it really was
Gave
alarming.
us the information that Jimmy had an older sibling. So we all went,
And
you know.
we think it was
around.
putting people together. You know.
So then Jimmy's dad answers the door and they show the picture to Jimmy. Connor's mom, with the one with my daughter, she's a 17-year-old. So he's like, yeah, I think I know that kid. And then they were like, do you know Jimmy? And the guy was like, yeah, that's my son. And then he was like, I'm sorry to tell you guys, but we don't have a older child that drives. I don't know if she said Jimmy was the oldest, but whatever it was, dad said there was no older boy that was in their home that drove. But it was like he said, pieces were coming in from different kids trying to give us information and names.
See, the big deal here is, it's not like, and I know kids, you know, they get influences, but he's a homebody. I mean, I'm like the same way. He'd rather be at home playing his little Nintendo or, you know, watching cartoons. You know, sometimes I gotta make him go ride his bike, that kind of thing. So he's not one just to walk off. And, you know, he's had times where he's been a little embarrassed about it. He's still come, but never anything to drive him to something like that. So that's why, I mean, I had to come to grips with, I'm pretty convinced that something bad. We kind of, between ourselves, kind of broke it down to, we either feel like he's at a house where some of this drug stuff is going on. They convince, you know, they convince.
Has anybody called the school yet?
Yeah.
So the principal called this morning.
I back up. I emailed the teacher first, and I'm like, can you give us any information? I knew she couldn't, but I wanted to start with that dialogue. So can you give us any information about Anna's friends or anything? She's like, no, but I can go to the administration. So, principal, somebody reached out last night. Her principal said he waited up front just to make sure he didn't come to school today, side or whatever. And an announcement is that they have information, going to help Gannon. And,
They also just sent an email on the do not reply. The district email just came to us, where the principal said he's sending out all payments.
okay, so yeah, so they're doing their
So I just paid to us if now.
What kind of social media accounts does he have?
I don't even let him get online with these things. I have.
Does he have a phone? Obviously, he has a
Yeah,
phone that
it's
he's
in the
texting.
trunk, but like, we check through that. I check the phone logs on my TNT account, and we hadn't texted anybody other than the one friend.
So, and we have the capability to do a download on the phone and potentially see things that are deleted that you and I wouldn't see immediately. It would be like in cache data or whatever. Would you be willing to let us look at his phone,
Yeah.
do that download, see, just to make sure that he didn't delete something that we need to look at? Okay. So it's an iPhone?
Yes. You wanna grab that?
You need to, what, need to take it with you?
Yeah, that would be great if we could.
I know we'll get to that, but I brought this because some of my buddies at work were like,
Yeah.
Nintendo has a way to protect the device is hooked to the internet somewhere.
Okay.
So maybe he's somewhere and play this game on their Wi-Fi or something.
That is the Nintendo Switch missing?
Yeah, he had it with him. So like he was going to play games. That's why obviously he was going to play games with his buddy or something.
What's the serial number on that?
That's going to be right here if I'm not mistaken. Everything should be in here. I think that's it.
Does he, other than the stomach issues, does he have any other ailments, disabilities?
He just, he takes, ADHD medicine. But That's never really caused him a problem other than, I mean, he makes straight A's. He actually got his first B this past time, so.
That's his phone there.
Yeah, that's. 922.
2922.
Yeah, let me give you this phone number. And I don't know if you have to subpoena information or not, but so my friend looked this up and found, and said that, sure, police can subpoena connection location for the switch, and that's the. And he found something on the internet that said that, so it's at least looking into it, I think.
Yeah, we've got a database of stuff that we work with, so
Yeah.
we'll be able to find a contact
Okay.
if that service exists with that. Any,
Can I show you something?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you'll find it up, but I was just not sure about the history.
Oh, yeah, he had looked up only one, something that was.
Oh, where's the history?
are there any other children in the home?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You turned a 17-year-old. So, biologically both of yours.
No, so I have Gannon and my 8-year-old daughter. And their mom is on the way now, so she's gonna be here tonight, but,
What is sister's name?
Lena, Laina.
What's her date of birth?
12212.
And you have custody of both of them?
I do.
What is
Well,
mom's name?
technically shared, but they live with me and go to their seniors in summer, so I would call it shared, but I really have this. My mom's name is Landon, Landens.
Do you know her last name?
Hyatt, Hiott.
Date of birth?
411?
1185. And we have one other child in the home as well, her biological daughter.
Okay, what is mom's phone number?
Phone number?
Yep. And you said it's your biological daughter?
Harley. H-U-N-T, no, Harley.
Oh, Harley.
Yes, ma'am.
What's Harley's date of birth?
5102.
You mentioned younger children in the home.
Well, mainly I was being Lena because here's what happened. One of the people called this morning and she was sleeping and heard a lot of conversations and she's been like just crying and things like that. So, yeah, and she already has like a preconditioner with anxiety, but she gets very,
It's worked out.
worked up easily. So she's having a hard time because like the National Guard came earlier, so many people have been comment, so it's a lot.
So like you said, there, I guess the search history had been deleted, but like that one right there, Monday afternoon. I don't know, I don't see a time on that, so I don't know when that happened, but I'm sure that could be found, but it says, can my parent find my cell phone if it's off? So I don't know if he intended to take the phone.
What is this? Where does FGTV live?
That's, so this FGTV, some little kids show that they watch, what the kids watch, and, they got.
Like famous YouTubers.
It's like a YouTube thing that's going on, so. But he left
Is
the
he
phone.
talking, is he talking to any girls?
No, actually, I joked with him about that, but
He had a puberty class and he was like,
Yeah.
ooh, I don't want to do like, and
they just had a little puberty class at school, so he's still in the ooh phase. Yeah, go ahead.
now if you see the messages that say to mommy in the last day, that's me talking to his mom. Because I don't give her mom.
To see if you get any searchable stuff on the maps. So he searched for 10315 declaration of that you guys.
Declaration is probably somewhere,
It's all.
yeah, it's probably,
Old Glory.
yeah, it's probably something that we were, it could have been things that people.
What date was that?
10315 declaration drive.
When was that start?
It says Classic Homes, Wilson Ranch.
Yeah, I mean, that's our neighborhood.
Right.
Declaration.
I didn't look for any declaration.
Franky was on charge, so.
Yeah.
But we were driving around over there and somebody said that they saw a camera.
That was the,
On the old road.
address on there.
Wow, I didn't think about looking at that. But this, how does it make any sense? Cause he went the other direction.
I feel like that's someone's address.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the people. Is it recently? Because like,
So this is how it was, when I pulled up his map. I don't have his, but I when I just that address. So when I click on it,
you just put horse and ranch, so is that the random address for that office? After that declaration. It's on top.
bring up his map to see what the route is. I'll send the car down the back. We'll figure out what that is. I know it's right there, goes off to the south. So it's right by the house.
But it's kind of farther towards the school than our house, toward that backside.
Yeah.
We're up right at the front. That first section.
What model iPhone is that?
That's like a 6. Yeah.
Search. There over here.
So this here is computer's with waiver, but we're gonna use cell phone. So basically, what the cell phone waivers would say, is that we're gonna dump this phone with your permission. You have the constitutional right not to have it searched without having a warrant. I think that at this point, it would be good, started.
Yes.
But everything that's on that, to include all deleted items, everything, it just makes a copy of everything. And then we'll get it back to you and we'll analyze the copy that we take from it. Again, it's, you're providing consent. I can't force you into doing it. And I would have to obtain a search warrant, if you didn't consent.
28.
I believe so, yep.
28.
So we'll keep the phone and start searching for that, searching through that. Where might he go other than, does he have any other relatives in the area? No relatives in the area.
It's just us and those 2 friends. Yeah, I don't know. I don't recognize it.
We're listening to the car over there.
Okay.
Figure out why it's in the car. Did you ask about the bath salt now, the address?
Lies come
So we
pretty
don't know
easily to her, don't they?
Just a friend. We don't know
Liar.
who the friend is.
I can show you all it said.
in that text.
He said to me with bath salts, like, do we have any?
Does he want to take him to a friend's house?
Yeah, and let me pull up so I don't get it wrong.
Bath salts. Are you kidding me?
What is it for you?
Oh, thank you.
And then I got another water coming for you guys.
Thank you so much.
What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad girl, bad girl.
Right there, so you can just scroll down. So get this details we did with him. He's been having some stomach problems, so that's when he talks about his tummy. He made a little accident, dropped a candle, so he's upset about that. But then you can read what's part about the bath salts. And in context with that, at the same time, as soon as you say bath salts, I got on the phone with her and was like, hey, yeah, because we do have someone to take it more legit.
She's fast, all right.
That's like, get it all, hide it, put it away,
And I told him that
figure out what's going on.
he did ask me the day before,
Yeah.
and I gave him, because I didn't.
Damn, that's a good.
So like, it's
Maxie.
very vague. There's no like.
Can the jury come back and say that she's guilty of premeditation without that being on the table to start?
Face to face or whatever.
Yeah, very good question. Probably a state to state thing again, right?
I'm sorry, when did you say you went to Fort Hill?
I left Sunday morning. Well, actually, I went Sunday night because my mom flew out Sunday or Saturday night. My flight was Sunday morning, and then I got, of course, got there Sunday. That one day of class, and then this all happened Monday night. So, which was yesterday. I came back and
What time did you guys go to Petco?
I don't know, I we'll probably look to what time we set the alarm.
Okay.
that was Sunday, right?
No, Sunday was, we were hiking on Sunday.
Didn't go to Petco Sunday.
No, we went,
Petco Monday.
yeah, because it was just me again and again on the car because the stomach.
Okay.
Oh my
Because
God.
Lena went with us hiking, but Lena was.
Wonder what the defense is gonna have.
What's that date? So.
Tell you what, yesterday was 27. So we're at the address. So you're sending a card to the house?
The only thing I can think of though, if that was the person that we took the jingle basket to,
Oh, Jesus.
Anna was with me. So if it ends up being the person like the neighborhood to the jingle basket, that's the only thing, because it was somebody in Wilson Ranch. So you go like the people, but that would have been December. So I don't know what they got. I don't know if that's their address. I'm just saying that.
Any clothes missing?
I mean, like I said, like literally from what she explained, everything was consistent with, I'm going to play with my friends. So it's like, whatever clothes he had on, we make him put his play shoes on. We got nice shoes and play shoes. He had his play shoes on. So, I mean, it was pretty obvious that his intent was like, I'm not leaving, but I'm going to play. And I'm, doing everything I'm supposed to do. And she let him take his switch. I mean, don't really ever do that, so.
When was the last time he talked to his mom?
So they don't
Mom,
have that
mother?
switch?
For something. He had been he talks to her, right? They talk almost, I'd say 5 times a week. I know he talked to her Friday and Saturday because my mom was here and, he was on the phone first. So.
Sorry, there's just a lot of.
Hiding in her corner.
Yeah, she's on the way now. I think she just got on the plane, South Carolina. Yeah, that's where we're all originally from, South Carolina, but I'm right here for the military. So.
Bah,
I mean,
ha, ha,
not to
ha.
add any confusion to it, but like the mom's married to a guy that's got a lot of trouble with the law. That was one of my first instincts when it was like, when the come and go thing came up and they said that he walked in all nonchalant, like everything was normal. It was like the dude was here or something, because he's got a lot of trouble like that in his background. So I was like, it came to my mind. Put it down, but I mean, I don't know if it's anything legit.
Does she have your address?
Yeah, she does.
I know it says I disarmed the panel at Monday, January 27th at 2:29. So that's when we would have, and I set the back door to close. Because I would have like let the dogs out back then. So that's when
You got home?
came home. I'm still scrolling up. I just didn't want to have to go to the back. And then let's see, it says basement motion. I might have set the alarm. It's not showing when I set the alarm, but it says living room and basement motion at 10:10 a.m.
Yeah, well said, Shawna.
Oh, here it is, armed by master right here. So Monday, January 27th, I armed the alarm at 10:05 a.m.
10:05, you guys went?
That's what time I armed it, so I'm assuming, yeah, because we had motion that morning because we were there,
Which alarm do you use?
ADT.
What did you participate in bingo?
But they do these little basket things where like they would like a group on Facebook or wherever, with like 17 women and 10 families, just set $1.
Oh.
Like, okay, you bring a basket of stuff to their house.
Okay.
So it's like a Secret Santa, I don't know, something like that, but for the neighborhood.
I could either book on the lady who sends it. You want to see if that's the address she said?
It doesn't matter, we're gonna send it tomorrow
Okay.
anyway.
Okay.
So we'll make contact,
Okay.
verify.
That's really interesting.
It's weird to hear without that address on it.
Yeah.
Cause that, I mean, if that's like research or no, we
I
don't.
don't have a way to see whenever search, I can just see what the address is, the only address on there.
Right.
Has he ever left before?
So, I'll tell you, I mean, I know every parent says this, but he's a pretty straight up kid.
Here.
And, if ever he does wrong, like the only thing he ever sneaks is, playing his games if he's grounded or something. That's it. I mean, other than that, he does his chores. I mean, he makes straight A's, kind-hearted. I mean, he busts with his sister, but
And to add to that, I know if you're okay with saying that the count.
so his mom in the situation with her husband, like she basically has lost everything. Doesn't have a place to live. It's gone through a lot, on drugs and stuff. So I got custody of them. It's been pretty hard, for any kid. And I went through some of that as a kid. So I was like, let's get them counseling, just to be, certain there's nothing that they're dealing with, and they know it's okay to talk. So they go like once a month on base. And I always ask at the end of the session, hey, is there anything alarming that he brought up or anything I need to know about? And
She always says that.
for him, it's nothing, that he's just open and, he's going through normal emotions of, loving mom and loving dad and stuff like that, but nothing like, hey, you need to.
Does he go on Carson?
Yes.
And what's his counselor's name?
Dr. Burchett, I have her number.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Looking through this phone and listening to you, exactly, I looking through a 12-year-old's phone, and talking about it. I mean, Jack, he communicates over a couple of game chat. They play games, You got this, your game.
This is it right here. And I refuse, unless he's done it behind my back. I know he gets on YouTube and watches some stuff, but I have absolutely said no online game. So unless he's got on there and figured it out, then
So not necessarily communicating through the game, we have apps and stuff. If you can talk back and forth with your
maybe
log game and stuff, and he likes to use those instead of text messaging. And you could use for different apps. I was looking to see if I recognize any of the our son did before.
Yeah.
So I don't recognize any of them on there from what he uses.
Yeah, and usually, once again, he's pretty innocent by telling us, or at least hinting at things. And he's never even like said, oh, I learned this from this. How he learns is he researches like YouTube and stuff.
I see the way he was talking to you in his text messages about in trouble, he still plays
Right.
stuff like that.
But I did block him from the Wi-Fi because he was using TikTok out of something about some choking game.
Yeah, I noticed, and paying attention to, what the news and all that, I banned them from TikTok and said remove it from all your devices because of the bad. I'm sure there's good stuff with that, stuff that encourages those challenges or whatever
Yeah,
going
When was that?
So-
within the past week.
Yeah, I took him off, but like he was on the Xfinity block or.
Yeah,
And shut
Yeah.
myself.
yeah, he did
So
that.
I did that because I look over and it was some people were choking and quarters. I don't know what it was like. I guess to get high,
This is council.
like you choke yourself or something. And so he was laughing, but I think he saw it as just people being silly. I don't think he was realizing like
How serious it
how
was?
serious that was. So I told him a story of which was a true story. He was playing quarter game and it went down his throat. And he had to be rushed to the hospital, blah, 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 blah. And so then he kind of looked at me like, like it was serious. So I didn't think anything else about it. Didn't think he was going to do anything like that. I just thought he thought it was funny.
To see, the kid is so like tenderhearted, like I know and kids are obviously influenced, we know that, but he would never like smoking or anything like that because his mom's done, got into that stuff since we split up, and stepdad as well, and then, and his grandma, his mom's mom smokes real bad. And so he knows that that causes, you know, bad stuff.
But then the thing was in his book bag.
What was in his book bag?
So she found, after the bath
Harley
salts,
found it.
after the bath salts, I said, go check his book bag, just in case. Initially, she found nothing, but then after he disappeared, they went back and,
No, I didn't love or go look at it initially.
oh, I thought you looked.
No, you asked me to go look at it, but I was doing other things.
So they
I sent
found-
Harley-
Found a 2-pack of those little Swisher Sweets.
Yeah, I sent
So-
Harley to go look at it.
I don't know, somebody had to give him those
When did you find those?
last night.
Yeah, so I sent Harley to go do it. So Harley was like pulling out the book bag stuff and she's like, oh, I didn't see anything. And then she had a folder and he had dropped that folder, so she immediately used the text out. But didn't look like anything to
Who's best, who's best friend? Do you think that was?
It's kids at English.
Braden and Connor.
Connor, not as much, because,
Have we been to their house?
I don't know, did they talk to the police last night?
Connor's mom did.
Connor's mom was there, but, I was texting the other parents because they were out in the neighborhood looking.
What was Brady's parents wanted it?
Yeah, out in the neighborhood looking around, yeah.
Yeah.
You talked to Brady?
I'm not sure if y'all talked to Brady.
I know I know they talked to Braden's mom because she was at a.
Okay, all right, there you go.
I don't know that you talked to his mom, but I do know she was there at the time everyone was there.
What is the Rubicon Drive address?
Rubicon Drive, actually?
So Lily and,
Is that,
are you like the friends that live on that address? Okay.
9865 Rubicon Drive.
I don't know the number, but the Lily and Reese I spoke about earlier, they live on Rubicon, which I think is the street right behind us. Is that Rubicon?
Yeah, Rubicon's behind us, but I don't know anybody. I thought Gap Home was behind us.
Okay, hold on, let me look at it.
What is it again?
9865 Rubicon Drive.
What is this? Something. We
That was
gave
the
you,
usual hangout, yeah.
oh, okay. Who gave you this?
It was listed in the report. You guys gave it through.
Yeah, I didn't give anybody no.
So there was information in one of the party with the asphalt. That's a slip over. Is that right?
No, so, no, he said, I want to go to a friend's house. They said bring bath salts and my older brother.
Yeah.
That's piecing it all together, but in his terms, that's.
Yeah, I didn't hear the same thing
But-
anybody about.
So this Rubicon, so we live on Mandan right here. That Rubicon would be those boys, that Braden's family right here. I'm sure that's,
Okay, so that's Brady's house.
I would assume that because they don't know anybody else in Rubicon.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given.
And Lily and Reese,
Because I don't even know.
well, I don't know, Rubicon goes around here, so unless he was going somewhere right there, I don't know, but the boys do live there, Rubicon. Lily and Reese live on Gapple.
So we also have a deputy back over at the Amigo.
Okay.
So we asked them to send us the videos. They can't do it in the store. They have to do it in corporate office. To wireless system or whatever, if you're cloud, so I can send it to the deputies. Going back over to review that.
It's Linda Reese. Or Reese Linda.
Oh, at that Declaration House? I mean, to know if there's any kids there, we'd have to go through the school probably.
That's what they're doing now. They're going to see everybody home. They have any kids. So I'd say.
Okay.
And then why we would have searched that address, et cetera, and start from there. So
Okay.
they're headed down there to do that now. Deputy over, taking a look at if you're over there. Did you talk to Deputy Donatello yesterday?
Would this been late last night?
No, we've been during, it would have been probably before 4 p.m.
I'm trying to, the only deputy I spoke with that I remember, one called me because we were getting overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know who I spoke with. They were at the house, all right?
There's a lot.
Uh,
I think they were at the house and then, Donahue,
Donatello, yeah.
Sean Donahue.
Now, Chris Donatello,
This is El Paso County, yes. Deputy Sean Donahue, I think is the one I talked to because he said
The recording.
he said he would text me the case number. And then he said, we got come and go footage, so I texted him back. Yeah, I mean, you can read the.
so the deputy that went for the comment show, the clerk said, oh, yeah, he reviewed he reviewed the video. And he does not have the video.
Who does it live?
I don't know, he saw it
The one viewed today or last night?
last night. He's going back again today
But see, Donahue said basically that it said there was nothing out of the ordinary. He didn't seem under duress. He left on foot. He only purchased a bag of chips. And I continued to ask him questions about.
First of all, I think that came from the clerk. And the clerk said, yeah, it's him. But the deputy went through the video. The kid is back in the video buying the chips.
Yeah.
He doesn't think it's your son.
Okay.
But he's over there back now. And we can go there and look at it, but we can't get a copy of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have the hero.
I mean, I was over there when, I don't know who was over there at like 11:30. There was another deputy over there around.
That would not have been the guys over at my home.
Yeah, so we were driving around, I saw a squad car or whatever there, I pulled in and I said, hey, can I look at the footage? He said, I don't have permission for that. But he said, I've looked over an hour and a half. I don't see description of your son or something that's close to it.
What kind of iCloud sign in? Sorry.
Let's text real quick, and it's in my note. Fix the kid's stop, isn't it?
I'll need a username and password.
Yeah, I got it in my phone.
You see it in your report. Video. I saw a screenshot on the phone of a kid on a sidewalk or something like that. You guys,
Somebody sent that.
So there's been like 100 videos, photos that I went through. And I know that a couple of them were what appears to be him because it's the same outfit, the same, looks like him, there were people scrolling on the. We had like 400 comments to go through.
So
That
that should be the iCloud
we sent.
username and password for his phone.
Was available, we write them back.
Then,
Or whatever, so yeah.
yeah, you can write all that. And that's the Gmail username and password attached.
So yeah,
Do you care if I just take a picture of that?
Yeah, how about I screenshot it and send it to you? How about that?
That's
So like it was on Kaplan. One of them I sent to my cousin, I just don't remember where this.
really weird that you got there. That's
Kaplan's behind us.
always a cap.
Oh, yeah, no, Kaplan.
That's way up in the city.
Message. All right, what's your number?
719
Okay.
208
Okay.
1406.
So, do my stop one?
And I just left that's my daughter's iCloud too. Not that it'll matter, but just in case, I just left that one on there for you.
You're pretty sure that's.
Yeah, okay. But I mean,
So where was this one taken at what time?
I need to look back. If you've got this, thought of the started sending the.
I give you a number. I can send a picture to you. I'm gonna send it to the guy that's overlooking the video. Seven one nine.
So.
No.
Within
5657. And that one was somewhere over by your house?
Yeah, what video here, we didn't.
You over the common door?
Oh, I didn't say where, I was like, I don't really think I'll say what it was, I was like.
So I did see he had a whole bunch of emails for somebody.
Well, this is why, this is fine. So we'll all be in there, they only let you do the just for you, keep on clipping. So everybody in the house with phones have to get, has to get it, so. we can-
Game this.
Well, our son gets random emails from.
You'll notice pink stickers on this.
My email box.
Yeah.
That's your point.
That's why it's.
So let's go.
That's all, that's. And then I'll get in there and be like, what number am I putting in and try them all.
Has anybody searched the guy's house yet?
Yeah, so that was the first thing they did was, it's about 6 people, showed up. And because we waited about 4 hours. And the first thing they do, they come in, they just were like, hey, they need to get your ID. Maybe you have to run in like, I guess like search thing and stuff like that. And then they said, well, typically, or sometimes kids can like hide, and someone told me something about it could be in the jar and not realize that they could breathe, like different places. So the guy went through every room and all the officers and everybody else like stood this way. And he did like flashlights, checked all the spots to make sure he wasn't like hiding, because at this point, it had already been so long, he doesn't ever come in to hide. He might do like a play, like jump out behind the thing, but not like anything specific. Yeah, so he went in like all of our closets, we like moved stuff, everybody was silent. Then we looked at the alarm to see like if there was any motion that might have been in any direction that we, like we didn't know. So I didn't do it, he did it. We spent a while doing that, going over certain things, like they walked me around, they were like, does he always leave this here? The clothes that were laid out, because we laid out, when he goes out of town and it's just me there, I try to lay out all the clothes, and I do it for him too, if I'm somewhere, so they can just get up and find the clothes. So they were like, all these clothes are laid out, and I was like, yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because he's got like 2 beds, so he used to see other beds, is like to lay out all his stuff. So they walk through, just ask them simple questions. Would you normally do this? Would you normally do that?
Working on the Nintendo right now. Does he have a gamer ID on that Switch?
Yeah, you don't remember it. To come through on the.
Can I see this one? It might be.
Absolutely. Yeah, he had one, and then when we got the new system, we just created a different one. This program and password for it.
When he goes to play, I know you had said that you have to like basically kick him out the door to go ride his bike in that, but when he does play outside, where does he go?
Just to Braden's house.
Well, you don't have to kick him outside if he's not on his medicine. If he's not on his medicine, he's hyper, he'll go to. But if he's on his medicine, it's more like, till it wears off, it's 5 minutes for ADHD. So until it wears off, it might be like, I don't want to play, like, zombie mode at first. So when it wears off, like if it's the weekend and we give it to him because we have to go to church, he would not go outside on a Sunday because it's still in the system at church. But he didn't take it because he didn't take it Saturday. He didn't take it because we went hiking, because we did a 6-mile hike. He didn't take it Sunday. I'm sorry, that was Sunday. He didn't take it Saturday, he didn't take it Sunday, he didn't take it Monday, which caused the stomach problems. So he was off his medicine. I don't even think he ever done it.
They said that the manager of the store says it knows the kid. He comes in with the staff. So that's not us. Which we constantly commonly have, someone says something and go, oh yeah, that's a kid. I see. So they said that the kids are.
I don't.
They're saying it's him, but he knows him. He comes in all the time too.
Do like.
So like, we don't show that on, bro. Definitely not enough for clerks to know. Yes. No, I don't.
It's, all this says is this. I don't know if that's.
We go get gas over here.
That's always the purchase of sometimes.
And the Gmail account associated.
I think.
Should be the.
I don't think he was last.
Sounds like.
So I don't think he was last year. The guy that Brisky was quoted in there, saw him, that one work. He's saying, yeah, I know, but this guy can know. That's not your guy.
Right, yeah, no, I don't think ever, I might have been one time.
The deputy was looking, the deputy did not think it was him. He's going back to look to see if this chick that he sees in the store that he buys the chip with, it's like into the car. I don't think that's gonna be. I don't think he made it up. Could be wrong, but it does not look like that to me based on.
Did you get what you needed with the
Yes.
ID thing?
I have a lieutenant and a deputy going down after that, right now, but we're heading down and talk to them. Talking to a couple of deputies, so we're on foot this morning,
Okay.
checking the golf course.
Yeah, because we saw him put the light on and we thought like there was people out there, but they were doing like another call, so he like kind of chased them down.
No, it was actually,
Oh.
they didn't know what they were gonna find and whatnot.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get people all riled up. They were checking on it, there was some noise coming from their shed. It was in that golf course area,
Oh.
so they went in and started.
Okay.
You see what it pushed down.
Right.
He was not it. But I want you to know, that wasn't him looking, but it was for.
Because they were just like, we were going to talk to somebody and we both drove off and was like, we both drove, make sure it's not. We both drove off and like, we're going in the woods to talk to people. Because we thought like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, and drove on.
So they were going into that, I mean, 'cause there's an abandoned shed or something back.
Okay.
But they went in there, it's in, because you can tell people going there, that's what happened. They were going there. Like,
Okay, thank you. I mean, like, I'm glad they weren't like saying, I could soon it would have been.
They just didn't want to.
Right, right.
Yeah, you got to think you might be over here.
Yeah,
You know, 30
exactly.
people are running toward the shed.
Exactly.
You guys can work with. I would like to talk to. I just talk to the students out there. You know what I mean? They might know what this party is supposed to be.
What color is Braden's house?
But I want to talk to the parents. I want to talk.
I don't handle anything. I don't even know. I think it's like 10. I don't even, I've never spoken to their parents. So now.
Would your husband know?
Yeah, I think it's like 10.
Yes,
I mean, I drove by and I just don't.
Eugene,
They need to have.
Oh, yeah.
what color is Braden's house?
I told her I didn't know.
Is it on your street?
But you are very. So come in our neighborhood. Our house is like third from the end, something like that. T intersection, dead end right here. There's Canberra, where I referenced, and then Braden. Basically, you go straight to their house from the intersection.
So this is,
This is us. That's Mandan. Rubicon. Rubicon.
Find out about that declaration house. If nobody's there, we'll start doing a back search.
Braden.
And then Campbell, and go from there. We'll be out there. All right.
you said,
Canberra, which she's in there somewhere. And
where's
this is-
Connor at?
Connor, they live over,
Like Academy or something.
somewhere, yeah, way over up Academy. It's just his mom teaches at that Webster school or works there, so that he goes to.
They just,
Connor's mom's number.
did you give her that?
No, we got sidetracked
She
on
just actually,
15 other things.
Yeah.
sorry.
I
So
don't have.
Braden is on Rubicon.
Goes by Canyon. Goes by Canyon, yeah.
Connor's gone.
Yeah.
You guys let me know when you be down that section. Okay, we'll do. Well, we're doing everything we can for you right now.
Thank you.
So hit you guys up, we got your number. Make sure you're all charged, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That'll work.
And so this is school. It's down here, Grand Mountain. Just to the reference. And what is it? What is it? Fontaine? Fontaine was the main drag coming in.
Right.
Mark Shuffle.
I didn't know that part.
We're the first term when you come in. So anyways.
Okay, perfect. So what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna, do you have a card on you? I left mine in the car. We're gonna head down to talk to see if we can get a hold of Braden. See the time.
That's right. Right?
Well,
I'm not sure.
might be at school. We may, and he goes to Grand Mountain.
Yeah, they all, the whole neighborhood does now.
Except for Connor.
Okay,
Well, Connor, because he's way over here somewhere. I don't know. I'll just have it like I said. Braden does.
we're gonna try and talk to Braden. We're gonna get a dump on the phone. Sergeant Hess, the guy that was sitting here, he's also working on
things in the area too with other patrols. He's sort of like the lead for out in the field. We're gonna see what information we can gather from there. And I will inform you guys as soon as I can with what we find. If something comes up, no matter how minute, please call us, okay? That 208 number that you texted, that's my direct stuff. So, and I think I called you from it, so you should have it in your phone. So yeah, hit me up, let me know what's going on. If I don't answer immediately, send me a text too.
Okay.
Okay? All right, guys.
That's a good place for a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take our morning break. If I can have everyone back in the jury room at say 10:40, we should be able to start on time at that point. All rise for the jury, please. Thank you. May all be seated. The record should reflect the jury has left the courtroom. Ms. Bethel, I want to apologize to you. I didn't realize that the video was, or the audio was going to be that long. I would have offered you a seat in the gallery as we have other witnesses, because that witness chair is not the most comfortable to be sitting there for 55 minutes and 12 seconds listening to something. So next time we'll do a better job about that. So what are we doing next?
Just continuing with her. There will be another video here shortly that is much shorter. 3 minutes and 43 seconds will be coming up here in just a little bit. And then we'll get into the really long one, which is 4 hours and 19 minutes.
Okay. So we'll probably get about a little less than half of that done before lunch.
Hopefully, yeah.
Just find a
4
good breaking
hours.
point for that, and then we'll go from there.
I'm wondering
All right, court will be in
if,
recess.
I want to marry this
Go ahead
judge.
and step down.
I'm wondering if that might be her interview. Someone did say that that interview might be coming out today, so that would be awesome. Let's watch these gaffers. Oh my goodness, you two girls. Oh my God, I want a panda bear. Come on, I'm a nice girl. Let me have a panda bear. So what do you guys think? Do you think that could be this interview with the cops? That would be wicked. Right? Lori and Tisha. Let's be honest. Oh my God, I want that baby. Like, look at it. Oh my God. Yeah, you're probably right, Maxie, yada, yada, yada. But I'm interesting to see what kind of hole she digs this time. Because I know it was just the first couple of days. She had like seven different stories. Look at how they grab their little babies like that fur has to, no, a wet koala? Oh, please. But Mom grabs them like by that thick fur and just tosses them around. It's adorable. Mommy, I love you. A wet koala? Oh my God. I want it. My ex, we're driving around one night and I shouldn't even say this, but I was kind of out of it. I don't know what he is like, but I had him, we went through this one spot and there was like baby sheep. Oh my God. I literally had him climb a fence, go in there to try and get one of these things. And I don't know. All of a sudden, like this pissed off, what is alpaca came running at him. It was the funniest freaking thing. I was like, go get me one of those babies. Oh my goodness. 15 or so years ago. Is it in Discord? Oh my God. What the hell is that? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my. WTF. It's hilarious. That thing looks mean as F. A wet koala. Damn. If I seen one of those walking through the bush, nice little rain happening, holy shit. One scary looking freaking koala bear. Oh my God. Mommy, Mommy, get back here, kid. Yeah, not so cute anymore. Amazing what water can do to you. Avoid that shit. Fish screw in it. Ugh. Back away from the water. Fish screw in that shit. Ew. Oh my God, look at that thing. It stands up like a little human. I wonder if they can be domesticated. I'm pretty sure Canada would say, yeah, no, Frankie, no. Oh, Mummy Bear's having fun in that. They do poop in it. Ew. Yeah. Sand is like little pieces of rock that have been like chipped off from the tides and what have you. It's not fish shit. You trying to keep me off the beaches, Maxie? Oh my God. Fish sperm and fish poop. No. Shauna. Little pieces of poo. What is it, petrified? Stay off the beach. It's petrified fish poop. No, not fish spooge. Yuck. I'll be going in rain boots. Oh my God. Right? Get me my Scott pack. I want to go for a walk on the beach. Oh my God, that's funny. Pfft. PFP warning. Pfft. 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 Warning? Was morning? Wizarding. Pfft. Wizarding. So I said was earning. That's what I'm trying to figure out too, Mexi. It's like worsening, worsening, warning, was earning. Okay then. Oh, gotcha. PFP warning. Gotcha. PFP warning. Oh my God, yes. What about whale poop, Mexi? So does that mean is that the boulders? Oh my goodness. Yeah, can you imagine you decide to go snorkeling and a great big massive whale turd comes flying your way? Oh my God. Would you know that's what it was and to like get the hell out of the way? What if they have diarrhea? The whales get diarrhea? I wouldn't want to run into that stuff either. Yuck. Oh my, ew. Oh my word. Okay, what? What the hell? I see a bunch of people left. We don't come here wanting to talk about bodily functions. We're here for crime. Oops. Oh, right. Oh my God. Yeah, just like the vision of like this great big massive whale turd coming flying at you in the water. Like this the size of Mount freaking Rushmore or something. Yipes, no. Pretty sure that's what killed Irwin. Pretty sure. It wasn't Stingray, it was freaking whale turd. May he rest in peace. Oh my goodness. I haven't swam in the ocean for a very long time, but our beaches are not near as nice as the ones that are in the US. I mean, Vancouver Island and some of those little islands out there, beautiful. But on the east side, cold. Ooh, yes, she did. Mexi started it as usual. She's an instigator. Yeah, the East Coast is all rocky, and the West Coast, unless you get onto some of the islands, not quite as nice. Steve. Look at those mama bears. She's going to like grab that little baby. Oh, no, maybe not. I think she was going to take it for a flip. Oh, my God. I want one of those. I just have to hide it when hubby's home. I'm going to eat you, you brat. No, mommy, no. Oh, my God. Abuse. Mom. Stop kissing me. Oh, swatted mom. Stop biting my face, mother. Oh my God. Yes, please. That baby. Oh my God. Any one of them. Okay. Yeah. I haven't been to Alabama, but I have been to Florida. And yeah, it was beautiful. We were on a private beach for 6 weeks or so. And yeah, I liked it. Oh, there we go. What am I thinking even? Yeah, Steve. May he rest in peace. Yeah. Oh my God, what did my dog have? Oh, I just want to see what you're throwing around. Sit down. Where are you guys getting all this stuff? Like, where are you getting this stuff? Oh my God, like a fishing weight or something? Oh yeah, loved him. I love the energy his kids have too, because they're doing, I think, a great job of honoring their dad. Yeah, he was a blast. Yeah, even though he flirted with danger all the time, for some reason when he went, a person was shocked. He just seemed to be invincible. Nothing yet. Seems like a longer break again. Okay, still nothing. These little bears, they're so playful. Like the moms even, like they're just like, they play. Uh-uh. Take it outside, ladies.
Disaster.
It just is, that camera's view, when it automatically reboots up and starts again, every time we start it, the whole jury box.
Oh,
And so you have to zoom in to cut out Ms. Gratiano, so that we know that we're not getting a jury box. And because there's a juror that sits right behind her too, so you can't. All rise for the jury, please. You may all be seated. Record should reflect the jury have returned to the courtroom. We'll recall 20 CR 1358, People versus Letesha Stauch. Mr. Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. So after we had a chance to watch that initial conversation that you had, I guess the initial recorded conversation that you had with the defendant, I want to clear up some things that we hear in there. In your initial question and answers prior to us getting into what actually watching the video, you mentioned that there were concerns about any health issues. Did some of that come out in this particular recording?
Yes, it did.
Was that the ADHD and the bleeding from the rectum report?
Yes.
There was reference of a Petco on North Nevada that the defendant indicated she visited. Is that the area up at University Village dominated sort of by that Costco that's in that shopping center?
Yes, it is.
There was reference to a Nintendo Switch and trying to track that. During the investigation, did you learn whether you could or could not do tracking on the Nintendo Switch?
We could not track the Switch.
Did you learn later that the Switch was actually found in the house?
I did.
There's lots of discussion in that video, or that recording, I should say, about things that required investigative resources. Do you remember hearing those things?
Yes.
Does that include going to different residences, like that I think it's 10350 Declaration Drive, to look for potentially clues that would lead to discovery of where Gannon might be.
Yes,
In your experience as a seasoned homicide investigator and detective, is time an important element in an investigation?
yes, it is.
Is the fact that resources are being expended to chase down potentially a runaway child as opposed to a homicide investigation, did that waste valuable time in the investigation?
Yes,
And was that wasting of resources a direct result of misdirection from the defendant?
it is.
During your course of conversation with the defendant at that Starbucks on January 28th, is this essentially the fourth time at least that she's given this story that Gannon has run away? Meaning there's the 911 call, the call for service, reporting it to Al, and then now reporting it to you in this recorded phone call.
Yes,
So almost a quadruple down of that runaway story.
yes.
What was her demeanor like? I guess because we can only hear what is being said. What were her outward demeanor expressions like? Were they normal?
She was calm and collected.
Did she ever change personalities while you were with her during this recorded interaction?
No, she did not.
Was her personality consistent throughout that interaction?
Yes, it was.
And then there was reference to, by the defendant, there was reference to ADT data to show what time she had returned from doing the run to Petco. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Did you also during this investigation become aware of neighborhood ring or doorbell cameras that caught that action as well?
yes,
That confirmed sort of that timeline?
yes,
Was it consistent during your course of this investigation that there would be some kernel that could be confirmed, a kernel of truth that could be confirmed from the defendant wrapped around things that were unconfirmable or turned out to be totally false?
yes,
Some point later that particular day, 3:45 p.m., did you reach out to the defendant again by phone to request particular items?
I did.
What were those items?
I requested that she bring a toothbrush and or hairbrush with her of Gannon's
What was the purpose for that?
to collect for DNA purposes to develop a DNA profile.
Is that a common thing to do in a missing child case like this?
Yes,
Why is that?
because if the child is located and is deceased, we're able to identify them.
By comparing the DNA from the body to the DNA profile that you might gather from toothbrush or a hairbrush?
Yes,
Were you making efforts to get the defendant down to the sheriff's office to sit for a formal interview?
yes,
While that was happening, did Al Stauch, Gannon's father, show up at the sheriff's office and actually sit for an interview?
yes, he did.
Was that about 4:30 p.m. on January 28th?
Yes,
Did you send a text to the defendant asking her to come down at roughly the same time?
I did.
Did she come down?
No, she did not.
Did she even respond to your text message?
I don't believe she responded initially, no.
Okay. Later that evening at about 6 p.m., did you get a call from the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And what was the call? Was it to your cell phone?
Yes,
Does the sheriff's office have areas in the building that make cell phone service difficult?
yes, they do.
Did you experience that with this particular phone call?
Yes, I did.
So what did you do in response to that?
Because I wasn't able to completely talk to Letesha on the phone, I hung up with her and I called from a landline located within the sheriff's office.
Did you get a better connection on that?
I did.
Was that particular phone call recorded?
No, it was not.
Do you remember what she told you or what the discussion was during that phone call?
She was discussing her relationship with Gannon and Lena. She told me about how her parenting and Al's parenting was separate, that they never formally adopted each other's children, that she wasn't allowed to make parenting decisions for Gannon or Lena, and Al was not allowed to make parenting decisions for Harley.
Okay. And then did she tell you during this particular phone call the last time that she actually saw Gannon, at least the way that she's reporting it?
She did. She mentioned that she saw him, I believe it was between 3:15 and 4, and she had mentioned that there was a TV show on that she had liked to watch. And I asked her what that TV show was, and she could not tell me the name of the TV show.
Did she describe the clothing that Gannon was last seen wearing by her?
Yes, she did.
What was that?
Said it was a blue shirt.
I have a
blue
strong
pants,
belief
and
that
his
she is a
tennis shoes.
psychopath.
Did she also mention a blue hoodie?
Yes.
Strong belief. Just watching
Did you
her.
ask her during this phone call if she would come down and talk with you at the sheriff's office?
Yes,
Did she accept that invitation or did she decline it?
she declined.
Did she give you a reason why she was declining it?
She said that her stomach was bothering her and she was having to make multiple stops at different Walgreens to use the restroom.
Or diarrhea.
Later on at about 7:03 p.m., did you get another call from the defendant?
I did.
What was that phone call about?
She was FaceTiming me and she was mad because her daughter was left alone with a bunch of men in the home, she claimed. At that time, the sheriff's office was at the home to get Lena at Al's request.
So I think that's later on when she's asking about that. Would that potentially have been at 11:52 p.m., that particular call? A FaceTime call where she's upset about and needing Al to come home?
She can look a person straight in the eye and lie.
I guess after that 7:03 call, did you get another call from Al in which he was upset?
Yes, I did.
What was that all about?
Al called me and he was sobbing. I could tell that he was upset. And he told me that he didn't tell us everything. He had previously done an interview with my partner, Mark Riley. And he explained that Letesha had rented a vehicle from the airport when she picked him up and that he did not disclose that to us.
Did he also talk about trying to find her normal vehicle, the black Tiguan?
Yes.
I see
Was he able to find
nothing
it?
that shows she was insane.
Was that
Not
causing
one
him
damn
distress,
thing
at
so
least
far.
as he's relaying it to you?
Yes.
I mean,
That
I've
leads to
seen
him coming
insane,
back into the sheriff's office for another interview?
and that's not it.
And then later on that night, about 10:45 p.m., did you get a text message from the defendant? A rather long text message?
Yeah, she does, Maxie. I agree.
That night, yes.
Do you remember the specific content of that text message?
She really does.
For that time frame.
Okay, if I showed you a report, would that refresh your memory as to the specific content of that text message?
Yes.
Your may I approach?
You may.
What you doing, Lizzie? Yeah, you. This is the thing, Shauna. Yep. Well said. This is all just an opinion. I am not a professional, and I Googled both definitions. Disclaimer. Think tank. Does everybody go through the motions of covering up so much? That's what I mean. If you know what you did is wrong, you try to hide it. I mean, not all of us, but she tried to hide it. Someone who's insane just leaves the person laying there and don't really give two shits, like a Ted Bundy.
And for the record, what I'd handed to Detective, Miss Bethel.
Oh yeah, she's
is
narcissistic in my belief too.
pagination 01-0043.
I agree with
Did that
you.
refresh your memory as to this longer text message?
Yes.
What did the text message say?
And yes,
She
It
was
would
asking
explain
what I
trying to
wanted
cover
from
it
her,
up. I
and she was
agree.
saying that she was being set up and that she learned that information
And
from a fellow Blue with El Paso County.
so
Was that basically an implication that she had an inside
with all of
source
her
of
different
investigation to you?
stories, we
Yes.
all know how
Was that? did that turn out
inconsistent
to be
they
true?
are.
No.
A narcissist would just believe they're so good that they can say anything and we're going
Did
to
she
believe
also
it.
express during that text message the same sort of
In my
theme
mind,
that
she
was
falls in
upset
there.
about her daughter being in the house with people from the sheriff's office, men from the sheriff's office?
Yes.
A
Did she
narcissistic
relay in that particular
psychopath.
text message the
In
idea that she
my
could
opinion,
hear what was being discussed inside the home because of cameras? or
she
something
lies
in the
somewhere
home?
in there.
Yes,
Did you respond to her?
I did.
What did you respond with?
I asked her if she had any information to help me find Gannon.
Did you also invite her to come into the sheriff's office to talk with you?
Yes.
Did she accept or what happened?
Hell's no.
Can you retrieve that page from you?
Yeah, she is more psycho and narcissistic. I think she falls into somewhere in those realms. How do you
And
tell all
then,
these different
just a
stories
few minutes after that, 11:52
and believe
PM, is
that
this a
people are just
FaceTime
going
call that
to
you got from
believe
the
you
defendant?
Yes.
because that's what you're
Was this a
saying?
recorded FaceTime call?
Yes, it was.
Audio recorded?
Yes.
Gary, may I approach with People's Exhibit 336?
You may.
Yeah. Huge gaslighter. She thought she was that good. That's my thoughts. That's well said. That's exactly how I'm looking at it.
Do you recognize People's Exhibit 336?
I think a personality disorder
you
for sure,
recognize it?
not so much
It is
into
a
her
FaceTime
break-in
interview
reality.
with Letesha.
Yeah, I honestly
Have you had a
think
chance to listen to the content
she
of that
believes
disc?
if she says it, we
Is
will
the,
believe it.
recording file on there a fair and accurate representation of the audio of that FaceTime?
Damn straight.
call?
I agree.
At this time, I'd move for admission of People's Exhibit 336 and ask for permission to publish.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you accepting it as being admitted?
She
Yes, yes, it's admitted.
she rented another vehicle and drove 1,300 miles to dispose of him.
While it says FaceTime, it's only audio, right?
It's only audio.
That's not what
yeah.
an insane person
And just so
does.
that the record is clear, I never did hear whether there was an objection or not from defense as to it moving admission.
All right. All right, Exhibit 336 will be admitted.
Go ahead.
So just, I'm just trying to figure out, I got your message about something, I talked to you earlier, you didn't say anything else, I'm just trying to I'm confused at what you want me to do, what's going on. You talked to me, now you want to talk to me again?
Well, you sent me that message saying, I don't know what you want from me, so.
Yes, because, I mean, my child couldn't leave, I couldn't go home, I don't have anywhere to sleep. I mean, like, I just don't understand.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, that sort of kind of came out of left field for me. All I'm trying to do is gather information to find Gannon.
I don't understand what you mean came out of left field. My own child could not leave, so how is that out of left field?
What do you mean your child couldn't leave?
She was trying to go to Starbucks and was left there and forced to stay there with men in and out the home by herself.
Okay, I don't know what happened at your home. I know that she was offered the opportunity to come into the office and she didn't want to, so she didn't go into the office.
But what does she need to go in the office for? She can't go get food. She can't go get coffee and have to be asked why she gets coffee. Either Starbucks app to see that she gets coffee like every day. Hello.
Is there anything more that you might be able to share with me to help me find Gannon?
Just give me this.
Where are you now?
You keep asking me this over and over and over.
Where are you now?
I'm not going in to talk to you
Okay,
without an attorney when you already talked to me earlier.
okay, that's perfectly fine.
But I just don't understand what's going on.
Do you have anything, any further information to give me that may help me find Gannon? Any new developments, new information?
I told you this.
Okay, well then, I'm gonna go ahead and end the conversation then, because we've already spoken.
Okay, so why do you keep saying because someone came and looking for me, wanted me to go talk to them, so now it's you. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You and I have already spoken. If you don't want to come in to speak with me at the office, that's completely fine.
But why was someone
I don't know. And so what I'm saying at this point in time, Letesha, is if you don't have any other information for me to actively look through to find Gannon, there's no point in me continuing this conversation. I need to get off the phone here and start working on leads and developments.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
So.
She's a piece of
were you when
work.
you got that FaceTime call?
I was in the sheriff's office.
The other noises that you can sort of hear in the background, do you know what those other noises were?
It, to me, if I remember correctly, it sounded like windshield wipers on a car.
Okay, making that weird moaning sound?
Yes, they're rhythmic.
Okay. The sounds like potentially her demeanor is a little bit different than what was happening at Starbucks. How would you describe that?
She was angry with me.
And angry because of the idea of trying to get her down and talk to you at the sheriff's office?
I'm not exactly sure why she was angry with me, but she was angry with me.
What was your goal? What were you trying to achieve as you're accepting this FaceTime call from her?
I thought that maybe she had additional information for me to follow up on so I could find Gannon.
And did she resist that giving you additional information that might help find Gannon?
Yes.
Besides the fact that she's expressing anger, did she have a consistent personality with what you had experienced in a previous phone call and at Starbucks?
Yes.
There was reference made by her that she wasn't going to come down and talk to you at the sheriff's office unless she had an attorney.
Correct.
Did that indicate that she had a good understanding of what her rights might be if she does come down?
Yes.
What was your answer?
Yes.
And then did you basically throughout that night, early morning hours, were you getting text messages from the defendant?
Yes, I was.
What was the nature of those text messages?
A lot of them were about her, focused around her. I kept asking her to come in to talk to me if she had any additional information for me. And eventually in the early morning hours of the 29th, she gave me a story that she needed to talk to me. She was asking for a friend if we released information to the media. I told her we did not. She said something that had happened to her and she couldn't tell me around Albert because he would be mad and would become violent. And I ultimately arranged an interview for her, which was supposed to start at 10 o'clock at the sheriff's office on that Wednesday.
10 o'clock a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Was it odd to you, as you're describing those text messages, the early text messages, that the focus from her perspective was on her as opposed to finding Gannon?
Absolutely, yes.
Why was that odd?
In my experience, investigating other crimes and investigating other missing children, the parents are always willing to give me whatever information they can to find their child. And I've never experienced a parent being concerned about their own well-being or welfare while their child is missing.
100%, Shauna, right?
In those text messages, did she also describe injuries
Yeah.
that Gannon had suffered?
Yes.
What were those?
She said that he had blood on him.
Did she say from cuts?
Yes.
Did she also describe burns?
Yes.
Did she deflect any cause of those injuries away from herself?
Yes.
Did she in fact say that she did not hurt Gannon?
Good morning, Eminem. Yeah, he's an
At that stage
interesting
of the
dude.
investigation, was that an odd development that she's now indicating that he was hurt, but she didn't hurt him?
Yes.
In what way?
Most times.
How are you doing today,
you don't know
friend?
what wouldn't happen to somebody. You wouldn't put yourself out there to say that you didn't do something to that person.
So you mentioned that you arranged in these text messages to have the defendant show up.
That's
for
my
interview
guess,
at the
Maxie.
sheriff's office at 10 a.m. on January 29th, which would be Wednesday. Did she show up at 10 a.m.?
She did not.
Were you able to have any contact with her around that time frame to indicate where she might be or why she wasn't there?
I did text her. Yes.
Did you get any responses?
She eventually did respond to me and told me that she was, she had to put measures in place because she was being, or excuse me, her daughter was being stalked and her family was receiving death threats. And so she wasn't able to come in until she got those things taken care of.
Was there any indication, investigation that either her or her daughter was actually receiving death threats?
No.
What time
So
did she arrive?
I think she did have to leave the room. I don't know which she used first. I'm kind of leaning towards the pointy thing. But the fact is,
337.
You mean?
at some point, she did take that gun and she did use it 3 times as far as we know, allegedly. So I'm wondering if those other head wounds from
Miss Bethel,
a blunt,
do you recognize people?
if that could have been the
What do you recognize it as?
It is
butt
a copy
of that
the
gun?
interview I conducted along with Detective Kat Houston with Letesha at the Office of the Sheriff.
Is this the interview from January 29th, 2020 starting at roughly 12 p.m.?
It is.
Have you had a chance to review the contents of, I think that's actually a thumb drive or a portable drive, right?
Yes.
Is the content of that thumb drive a fair and accurate representation of that interview of the defendant?
It is.
All right, at this time, I'd move for admission of Peoples 337.
Mr. Cook? No objection. Exhibit 337 will be admitted. Go ahead.
And Your Honor, permission to publish, and just for reference sake, this recording is 4 hours, 19 minutes and 46 seconds long. And so we will have to stop it for the lunch break and then probably a second time as well.
Okay. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is, this is both video and audio, right?
It is.
Okay. So we're going to start this. We will take a break, a normal lunch break. We'll flex that to a reasonable breaking period. And then we'll send you on your way and we'll come back. But in the meantime, start with that. And Ms. Bethel, you can step down and sit in some place that's a little bit more comfortable for that long a period of time. And prosecution, go ahead.
Thank you.
How exactly did this kid, how bad were those burns? Like when we seen those pictures, it was really, really hard to tell because it was down to the bone in some photos. Oh, Jazzy, sit down.
And then just because you're in here and you're in our building and stuff, do you mind if I just pat you down really quick?
Yes.
That's how we hug. I need you to face that way for me.
It was on the
Go ahead
talks
and put your arms out
report,
for me and just separate your legs slightly for me. There you
but
go.
I don't know
Nothing that's
levels.
gonna like poke me or anything. Like you're not diabetic or anything, are you? Okay.
Okay.
It's a phone. Anything in your purse? Obviously. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Right, if you have a seat on the couch. We'll be right back with you.
So this is her interview. 4 hours by the sounds of things. What's she doing just wandering around in there? Sit your ass down. You're supposed to be nervous. She brutalized this poor kid. I'm gonna hide.
While we're actually watching this part, I do want to put something on the record. Normally, I wouldn't necessarily want to play the dead time when there's not an interview happening. I think the actions inside the room are also relevant for.
Can I
mental
do
health
this?
issues. So I'm playing it differently than I
All right, that's your call.
Yeah. Look at me go. Don't need to. What are you doing under there, Lizzie? You guys are like having a couple of 2-year-olds. I swear. So we are 2-year-olds, Mom. We got this. I like how in these interviews, like when they do this, they always seem to leave them in that room for like a long time.
How you doing? Yeah. Did you get some sleep? I haven't eaten today. Oh my goodness. Want something to eat? I've got some stuff. I would love that. What would you like? I've got some pizza Hot Pockets and some tamales.
Hot Pockets.
Burritos. Hot Pockets would be good. But I mean, you don't have to like, I don't know. We can get you stuff. Yeah, that's totally fine.
Hot
Yeah.
Pockets.
Let me get that started for you. I have like Coke and Sprite and like apple juice. Do you want something like that? You have diet? We searched high and low for diet. There's no diet. I'll take a regular Coke. Thank you.
I'll send next.
Thank you so much for getting that. Yeah, absolutely. Here's my card, just so you have it, so I don't forget later. I'll get that. Okay. So that's my partner, Detective Houston. I know you saw Mark with me yesterday. Right. I work with a couple different people. Okay. You're like in charge of. No, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in charge. It's just, we all pitch in and help out where we can. So Mark helps me whenever I'm out and about, and Kat helps me whenever I'm here.
Right.
So she's gonna be hanging out with us. And I also have something going on. So if this ends up going over, which
Right.
is totally fine, I just want you to know who Kat is in that. Okay.
No problem.
Where did you park? Did you park in the garage?
Mhm.
The garage that's right behind our building?
I got a parking ticket, yeah, so.
Oh, okay, perfect. For validation, what kind of vehicle were you in? So that I can put that on the validation slip whenever because I'll give you something to turn in so you don't have to pay.
Yeah, it's a Volkswagen, Tiguan.
It's a Volkswagen Tiguan?
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, what else? So I'm just gonna go through my normal spiel with you.
Okay.
I know that we talked last night, but because you're in here in the police building, I want you to know certain things, okay?
Right.
So first of all, you're in here voluntarily. You can leave.
Okay.
You just have to let me know that you want to leave.
Right.
Because I need to escort you out of the building, okay? If there's ever a time that you need to take a break, you need the bathroom, you need more water, you're still hungry, whatever it is, let me know, okay? I can't read your mind, so I need you to let me know what's going on with you.
Okay.
So that I can help you.
Mhm.
Okay. 'Cause the whole purpose of this, of us talking is to gather some information. And I
I
know
have a
you,
question about that. I understand that. I know it's recording and all that. It's totally fine. But does that like usually stay within the court and stuff like that? And I'm just asking
yeah. So this
because
is
I'm gonna have to tell you some very, personal things. there.
okay. And that's perfectly
Right.
fine.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and so it is not our common practice to go and,
Okay,
and be
something like
releasing
that.
stuff like
Okay.
that. Also, another little admin thing that I do just to sort of kind of cover my butt whenever I have people in here talking is to go over a Miranda waiver.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that you're in trouble. It's just because you're in a police station
Right.
and I want you to be absolutely certain of your rights.
Right.
Okay? So I'm going to go over that with you right now. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned.
Mhm.
If you can afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish.
Okay.
You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements.
Right.
Do you understand each of the rights that I've explained to you?
Yes.
And having these rights in mind, do you wish to speak with me?
Yes.
Okay. So if you could circle yes, or I'm sorry, circle yes and then initial. It's sort of redundant, but if you'll initial next to yes. And then down at the bottom is an X here.
Mhm.
If you'll sign that for me. Now, sorry, this was, I got a new watch and it doesn't like to work for me. It's 12:10. Thank you. So, because, I know I met with you yesterday. We talked on the phone, we texted, we've been talking with each other a lot. But because this is recorded, I want to get, let's start from the basics.
Okay.
Of who you are. You have your ID
Yeah.
in your purse? Well, those are nice glasses.
Yeah. Just
What are they?
Just-
I haven't heard of that. Is that a new,
like a Quay brand.
wait,
Yeah. They're really good. They're like better than like the Michael Kors and things
Oh,
like that.
really?
Yeah.
okay. I know this is your South Carolina ID.
Mhm. Thank you so much.
What's your middle name?
Well, it's I do my maiden name, which is Hardin, Hardin.
Hardin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's your maiden name?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me just write downstairs the deal.
Now that's appropriate. Hardened.
The given middle name?
Lynn.
Lynn.
Mhm.
L-Y-N?
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Hardened.
There you are. Thank you. What's a good phone number for you in case I need to get a hold of you?
843-655-7460.
I don't ever drink sugar, so this is probably going to be like so big.
what is, in case I need to send you any documentation via email, how can I do that?
TECIA, like my name, Lynn, and then 2006 at yahoo.com.
Are you on any social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram?
Well, I wasn't for a long time, but just recently I just got like my Facebook back because we didn't have for like 2 years.
Uh-huh.
So I do have Facebook, but I've always had Instagram, but it's mostly like like a travel YouTube type thing.
Okay, what's Facebook?
It's just my name.
Is it Letesha or
It's
Tisha?
under Tisha. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you said it's under Tisha?
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, it's not. It's because I abbreviated it. It's TT.
Is it your same last name?
Mm-hmm.
Stauch.
Yeah, because I really don't like, my first name, I'm always like, oh, Tesha. They're like, what Tesha? So I just put T because
Have I been saying your name wrong?
No, you haven't, but I always try to change it. My mom didn't like it, so like we tried to change it. So yeah, so I just gave up just to put T.
What do you want me to call you?
You can call me Tisha, which is my
Tisha. Okay.
You know, we always have a name we don't like or something. Mm-hmm.
And you said Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Now my Instagram is under Dr. Stauch.
Dr. what?
Stauch.
Is it the spelling of your last name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I have my doctorate degree in education.
Okay. I'm like, is this like a Dr. Pimple Popper kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
So it's for your education doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then address that I need to send if I need to mail anything.
It's 6627 Mandan Drive.
Mandan Drive.
And then 80925.
And where are you working?
Well, I was working with WD3, but I didn't want to work as a teacher anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided I was going to be a flight attendant. So that's currently what I started doing with Spirit. So I had been going back and forth doing like FAA. First you have to get like a study guide. I know you probably like, oh, you have your doctorate degree, you want to be a flight attendant. You know, I just like to travel. But my goal is to like teach online too and do the flight attendant, so I could do both.
Sure.
So I've been looking over my books with Spirit and like things like that so that I could go to training. So I was supposed to go to training. We get like a training date February, March, April. So in the meantime, I was just doing like subbing at the early college. That's why I told you early college, picking up sub shifts and stuff like that.
Okay, so you're more of a substitute.
Well, I was just a fifth grade teacher at French, but it has gotten so difficult in the elementary schools. I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like in between. I just finished working with them and that.
Yeah, I'm sure kids nowadays are a handful, right?
It's hard because I did special ed for so long, because that's what my doctorate's in. And then you're like, oh, like
you get burned.
You try to help so many people, and it's just hard.
Right. So you're gonna do flight attendant with Spirit?
Well,
have you been picked up by them yet?
Well, I got an offer letter from Spirit, an offer letter from, I just got one yesterday from SkyWest.
Oh, okay.
And the reason I like SkyWest is because they have a domicile in Colorado Springs and in Denver, so you can actually like work there, and I could do both at the college. So I was gonna, I thought it was not great. I was gonna do like Pikes Peak, and like I'm sure I wouldn't have a problem because I just finished this past year. I was going to just do them both. And then, so I hadn't decided, but now that SkyWest just had offered it, I was like, that would be perfect because it was just like centrally located, you know.
Right.
So you could come home all the time.
Yeah.
So that was a big problem that we had, is because I was going to take the Spirit job and then I wouldn't be based anywhere. They don't have a base anywhere in our area.
Oh.
So like I would have had to be in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
So I would never get to see anybody at home. And then you like stay in these crash pads. Are you familiar with it?
We were on vacation with some people who, the wife used to be a nurse, and she actually transitioned into being a flight attendant.
Right.
She was telling us all about it, actually.
Right, yeah. So
it's scary. Like, so familiar.
I did start getting scared about it being in Vegas, and I was like, man, I'll never get to see everybody at home. And like, I mean, I love the travel part. So then I was stuck with traveling, but being alone, or traveling with everybody else, but maybe not as much here. So, but anyway, that was in a nutshell. I was kind of, and I'm still evaluating. Is it okay if I just stop that? Because it's like
that's fine.
driving me crazy. But yeah, look at, so I was in like a a self evaluation type thing, trying to figure out, you know, transitioning from education and never having like another career. And then like worrying about how people would look at you like, oh, you have a doctorate degree and you're a flight attendant, you know, you guys like don't make money.
Right.
You know, so.
My niece is actually a flight attendant, so
Yeah.
for Southwest.
They said that's the best one, and whenever they have openings, it shuts the website down.
Oh,
That's what I heard.
that's pretty awesome. I didn't know about that.
And apparently it's really hard to get into because
Mhm.
they're supposed to like handle emergencies in the air. So
Yeah, and like the training is so. You think people just think we will serve people, but the training is so.
I heard it's very intense.
Yeah, they like do ditching exercises. They kick people out every day. If you're late for class for 1 minute, kick you out.
Oh wow,
And I
that's good. We need standards like that whenever
Yeah.
we're
So like,
flying.
and let me just tell you this in case it comes up like somewhere. But Spirit flew me out to do the December 20-something training, right? Problem is, I didn't have anybody to watch Harley. And Albert was working night shifts. And so it's always hard because it's always on me to find babysitters for everybody, all the kids. It's always on me. So I get out there and he was supposed to help. I know she's 17. We let her stay by herself, whatever. But through the night, because he was working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., that kind of scared me. And so, like, she just joined the Air Force. So, like, I know she's going to have to learn how to, like, shoot a gun, protection, but, you know, like, she's not ready yet, mature. Like, she's very mature, but she's not ready. So I came back, you know, and I was, like, talking to them. I just told them, I was like, my daughter's at home, whatever. And they're like, we can move you to the next class. Like, I think it was February, whatever. So anyway, so just in case you're like, oh, I thought you were, but I did fly out. They flew you out or whatever. And I came back because I was panicking about her, the dogs, everybody, and to take care of. So
She's your baby, right?
yeah.
So, why don't we talk a little bit about what's going on? So I understand, so initially you didn't tell me some things because Albert was there. And when we say Albert, we're talking about Eugene.
He doesn't like Eugene because his dad is Eugene and he was a child molester.
Okay.
So like he like raped his sister. So he freaks out about the word, like if he hears Eugene, but I said maybe that might help you. If you don't have to call him Eugene, it probably would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is take me through Sunday into Monday.
Okay.
And be as detailed as possible as to what you were doing, who was there, where you were at, how long you spent, et cetera, et cetera. Because the more detail I have, it might spark something for me.
Is it okay if I take my notes out? Because like I wrote down all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was like, I tried to write down anything he might like say, and just in case, because I have like notes from different things or whatever. So we already talked about the beginning things. I figured you reading that. So my paper is that we're at the same story that we started with, but then you want me to start with Sunday, which was the day that we went hiking, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we went hiking at Garden of the Gods. We actually, did you see the picture from Garden of Gods?
Garden
Okay,
of
so
the
we have pictures where we
Gods.
went to Garden of
Bucket
Gods.
list.
We were going to take the dog for a walk, but then my daughter got called in to work because she works at Massage Envy.
Okay.
So we were like, okay, we're going to go hiking. Crazy thing is, like, it's always like, you got one kid likes to hike a lot, the other one don't. So spent the whole time like, come on, let's go. We got to burn calories. Excuse me. All this type of thing. Then he started having a stomach problem. And he
Jesus, criminy
kind of cut
lady.
our hike a little bit short. But I was like, it's okay. It was kind of cold. And it's like,
No.
I say cold for me.
Do you guys have
but
a
I'm used to, like,
storm?
80-degree weather, so it was kind of getting cold. So we decided.
I'm trying
go
to
home.
set my mic
Okay.
up, and I'm not
So we
doing a
go
good
home. I
job.
don't really remember what we did the rest of the day. It was probably just like
She just
random
spent
things
that
around the house. I
entire
thought we went to dinner.
time
Oh no, we didn't get
talking
dinner
about
because
herself.
he
You're
wanted to
just now starting with Gannon.
So he came in and he asked me about. That's when he asked me about the whole bath salt. And
Bath salts.
he had pooped in his pants, so I thought he wanted to like take a shower. So I gave him a bath bomb.
Okay.
So going through the night, we were just doing like a regular random. I feel like I don't know who should be talking to, but
you can talk to both.
Yeah, we used to be doing like random things around the house. It's Sunday, no football.
I've been
on,
kicked off my own stream a few times.
Every little detail we did, but just a normal everyday situation, other than he was in a lot of pain because he gets really bad. Is it okay if I like show you like graphic, like not graphic, but like with my hand motions?
Yeah, that's fine.
He'll get where he has to like poop, and like I swear they're like that big. It might take like 2 to 3 weeks. He has a
I'll
like a
get this
GI
figured
problem.
out where I want
So
it.
because he takes Vyvanse, so like he had went the whole time without Vyvanse. So whenever that happens, sometimes it'll get where his stomach like wants to work, but then like can't. So he spends a lot of time in the bathroom, like kind of like hurting and things like that.
Okay.
Brutal.
So then at this point, the dogs, we have 2 new little Frenchie and a what is he? An English bulldog. They're really like, it's
French and English bulldog.
yeah, they are. They're really kind of like the Sadie's the French bulldog. She's kind of like high maintenance. But the kids always help out a lot with them, but Gannon wasn't feeling too well. And the dogs, they all, how they like know someone's not feeling well. So they were all laying down there and it was gassy, like very, very, they're back with that, very, very gassy or whatever. And, life goes on. But so Gannon had started a candle. Again, normal day. He's very like responsible in terms of like, if you give him something and say, do this, and like a list to prepare, it's fine. So we let him, do things like that. Like
Control
like,
freak.
use the box cutter to cut the boxes down, and like teaching things to be like a independent, growing up adolescent. So I didn't see a problem with him, light a candle, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I don't remember the exact time. I'd have to look at when the fire thing went off. I was tired. Albert had left because we spent the whole night up prior with Saturday because he was going to train in Oklahoma. So we stayed up most of the night.
Okay.
Just everybody was going to miss each other, wouldn't see each other for a while, whatever. So I was kind of like, tired. I dozed off for a little bit. And Lena asked me, could she stay up and still watch the rest of her iPad or whatever. Usually I'm always like, no, strict, like, hey, no, you can, whatever. But I did feel kind of bad because it was just her birthday. And at the same time being her birthday, we had a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
So we made it about her, but like I was trying to give her a little bit extra because
Gannon,
not everybody got to make it there.
Letesha,
We went all out for
Gannon.
Gannon's birthday. Like we took him to a Rockies game. We took friends with
Good
him.
Lord,
like
woman.
popcorn, hot dogs. Well, we didn't do that with her, but in her defense, we bought her a Switch. So it was kind of like different, but she didn't understand that. So I let her stay up longer than she's supposed to as like a, not necessarily
Come
bribery,
on over,
but,
friend.
So she stayed up a little bit later. And so she was still kind of, she's a very hard sleeper and she's hard to like pick up, move if she falls asleep, whatever. But I could tell she was just barely asleep when I went in there. So it starts beeping. It's like a beep, 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 beep. And I thought that someone was coming in the house.
She's brutal.
So I look and don't see anyone at any doors or hear anything. So I was like, I thought it was just a sensor. So I hit in our 2564, which is our alarm code, but it didn't go off. And I was like, what's wrong with this thing? So I walked through Lena's room, which the alarm is in her room. And I walk back like through the top part of the house, and you've been in the house, so you know the top part of the house.
I haven't been in there.
Okay, so there's the upper level, and then there's the below basement. So I like walk back and forth or whatever. I didn't see anything going on. Then it started saying fire, 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 fire. Like it kept saying fire.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah,
and
Maxie.
I
Me.
thought it was,
Oh
like
my
so there's
God.
like sensors for your fire alarm, and then there's sensors for your like alarm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just going to everything, trying to like ban it while it was going off because I was thinking kitchen, fire, nothing's wrong, whatever. So I was putting like towels over some of the sensors because I thought that was like monitoring the fire thing, whatever. And then I realized it kept going and going. So then I see smoke coming up from the downstairs. So I run downstairs, and my idea of a big fire is anything that I see on fire pretty much in their smoke, that's just because I grew up in the country.
Oh my
so,
God, that's
like,
what
I've
I'm
never bonfires,
saying.
like things like that, So there was smoke coming up through the basement. So the basement has, so if you walk down the basement, there's a sofa and stuff over here. It was coming up through the basement. So I like run back up the stairs.
But it's good they're letting her talk.
My point telling you about her being not a rest.
But
She woke right
what
up.
the?
So she woke back up, and I like almost like grabbed her, and I was like, get up, get up, get up, get up. I said, I gave her the keys. I said, can you go? I don't remember the exact order, but I said something along the lines of, can you go take the dog to Daddy's truck and sit there and wait?
Right.
So I don't remember the order of how we all ran out the house, but I know that at that point I did she ran out, and I can't remember if I ran out to make sure they got the truck or if she ran out by herself. I don't remember that part, but I do know that I know that had gotten in the truck. I came back inside, run back downstairs, and that's when I was trying to get Gannon because I couldn't get, I didn't know how to get everybody at once. So my main thing was to get the front people out, and then go. So then I ran back downstairs to get Gannon. And then the fire was on the floor over here, then on the sofa. So I'm pretending this is the sofa and this is our floor. So it was right here and right here. And I saw the candle that was over here. So there was covers everywhere because the kids always get on about, they leave a lot of covers laying around all the time. I mean, there's like 10 quilts and LOLs and blankets and all this. So they were all right here. So I take a whole bunch of them and I go and like basically smash down on the sofa and the fire to put it out. So I got a burn, and then I was like, get up again and started running at that point because it wakes him up. He's alert. He's realizing that the covers and everything's on fire, the carpet's on fire, and we all go outside. So we get in Albert's truck and we drive. And I drove off in panic because I saw that I put the fire out. So I knew that there was no, like nothing wrong, like it wasn't gonna keep going. I drove off in panic because I was like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? Like, we broke the carpet, we done this and this. Deanna's upset, freaking out because he's scared he's gonna get in trouble and da 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 da. So, like the whole talk was going on. So we drove maybe around the block a little bit and came right back. So we came back in and like developed a plan for the next day to figure out. Honestly, we were gonna fix the carpet and try to like not say anything. And the reason for that is because like Albert freaks out about every little thing. If the kids do something and I'm on like me, and he'll be like, you didn't do this, you weren't being a good mom, you weren't doing this, you weren't doing that. And so we both kind of were like a little like worried about it. And he gets very like crazy, like if something goes wrong. So that was the plan. Go to sleep, rest. He was going to stay out of school. We were going to get the carpet fixed and then go from there. Plus some hurting. So Lena didn't want to sleep in her room. Everybody was still kind of like frazzled. And I think Lena slept with me or on the sofa. I brought the dogs up. And again, he wanted to go in his room at that point because he was already sleeping on the sofa. So that's where Sunday, like pretty much kind of like stopped and everybody went to bed and yada yada. And I think I sent Albert messages because he was sleeping, that was on a different time zone, and he didn't see him that night. So.
Okay.
And I didn't feel that no one was in harm. Make sure I say that because the fire was not going. Now, I know that Gannon had like black marks all on his shirt, like smoke marks. But he had on a long sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt because sometimes he has on whatever. He had on a short sleeve shirt with a long sleeve shirt. So I didn't see him in any kind of like nothing other than the little burns that we had. I didn't see.
Where did you see burns on Gannon?
All right, so with Gannon, I just saw that. Okay, so like on the top, like right here, so like say the shirts are here, so like right here there was a burn, and the reason for that was I think whenever like he was trying to come up, it kind of burned him a little bit. I'm not gonna make an assumption. I don't really know. And as far as that, I didn't see anything else. Like I didn't know any like other differences or anything like that. All I saw was that. I said, "You okay?" He ran out the house. He was firing out the house. Everything was normal. Yada yada yada. Now I'm gonna let you know in a little bit why he was bleeding. But at that point, when you get to the Monday morning thing, I'll let you know about that.
Describe the flames for me. How tall are these flames? Is it like smoldering on the carpet, sort of kind of creeping across like a grass fire, or is it like coming up, working its way up the couch? Like how is it?
Really don't know. I know that it was like here, centralized on the floor, but like I could see. I think the smoke might have like kind of intimidated me more because I spent the whole night coughing. So I think that kind of intimidated me so much because I couldn't. The visibility was starting to be a little bit, like as if I had walked into a small little fire, and I was just afraid that it was gonna, because like upholstery for the couch. That was my biggest concern, was the upholstery for the couch. So.
Okay.
So I would say, it was like maybe like in this area, like right here. It wasn't like here.
So the flames were, 2-3 feet high, you think? How much light did you see coming off of this through the smoke?
No.
Okay, and that's fine if you don't know.
I'm not like a professional. And I was in the moment of freaking out to like give you an accurate answer.
Sure.
Of, because I don't want to tell you what's here, and it might have been here. I don't want to tell you this, and it's, I don't know.
It's all based off of your memory to the best of your ability. And that's all it is.
I
Okay.
do know that I saw covers coming up on fire.
What was the what covers were coming up on fire?
Like he had a cover on because he was sleeping on the sofa.
What
sitting on the
was he
sofa.
covered with?
What do you mean?
What kind of blanket? You had mentioned there was LOLs, there's quilts, there's
Color?
which kind of what blanket was he using?
Oh, I'm not sure. There was a couple that were there. There was a black. They were all. I put them all back in that bin that was sitting there. Did you? He said you didn't.
I haven't been in
Okay, so there was
there.
black. It was like a little furry. There was watermelon ones. I don't remember specifically which one he had, but I know that there was blankets in the area because they always leave blankets around. It was a mermaid one around. But the whole operation of when I grabbed them and put it out, I grabbed them all and done it. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Were any of them like damaged whenever that happened?
Oh yeah, they all. I left them all there when I showed them that night that, you know, like they were damaged or whatever.
Okay. Well, I haven't been in the house either.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm speaking to you like you.
Yeah, no, I didn't go into the house either, so I was like trying to make sure that we're
Yeah.
always.
So then Gannon decides that he doesn't want to go to school because of his tummy issues or because he's going to help you with the carpet. What is?
It was kind of a combination of both.
Okay, and who excused him from school?
Well, I had text Albert and said, could he not go to school for his stomach?
Okay.
Because he was hurting with his stomach, but also the whole plan was that we were going to figure it out. Like,
So who actually contacted the school to excuse him?
it wasn't me. I didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
Did someone contact? Because I didn't.
I would assume that
Okay.
somebody would contact the school, or you probably would get like a phone call. I know with my kids' school, if they're not there by 8:15, the office.
Then they would call Albert, not me, because he would have the like the automated system where he's like, your child's missing. I mean, your child is missing from school today, whatever.
Okay. So that's Sunday, and you're saying a lot of we and that kind of thing. So you mentioned earlier that Harley had gone to work.
Mm-hmm.
She got called into massage MV.
Mm-hmm.
So who went on the hike?
So it was originally going to be all of us. Harley, me, again, and Lena. And then Harley got called in. She switched shifts with someone, but then that person, like, I guess the policy is if that person agrees to take your shift, but then don't come, you still have to come or something. I don't know. But, so she just was like, I have to go. She's not going to be working there like a few more weeks or whatever. So I told her, I was like, don't burn any bridges. I know it sounds crazy that you have to do that, but you got to go in. So she went into work on Sunday.
Okay. So it ended up being you, Gannon and Lena that went hiking.
Right.
Okay. And so then let's go through Monday. Yep.
So we wake up on Monday. Normal. How we wake up. You know, like everybody gets up, whatever. Gannon stays in bed. He already knows that we are going out and about today. That was the plan. Lena, I walked Lena out, because usually Gannon walks her outside. So I walked Lena out to the front door and around to make sure I seen her around the corner to get to the bus stop. And she did.
Okay.
I come back inside. I don't remember if I laid down a little bit. I probably played on my phone for a little bit, wasted a little, because she goes outside like 6:50, 6:55, still early, taking the dogs out, things like that. Well, I go down, start talking to Gannon about, hey, like, this is the plan, like, go downstairs, the basement, whatever. I say basement, but as in, like, his room is downstairs, it's a furnished basement. And I realized that Gannon, he actually had, like, marks, like, on his
And
arm.
they let her use her notes.
They were actually, like, peeling at that point. And I swear, I did not
then there's
realize
that.
that they had, I don't know if, like, they start, like, because burns are sitting there, I don't know if they started, like, peeling, like, overnight or, like, whatever. And he has, like, really bad anxieties. So whenever things are peely or, like, things like that, he bites his own nails a lot anyway. Like, anything that's, like, loose and things like that, he bites them. So I don't know if, like, as, I guess, as burns, like, burned a little bit. And when I do this, I don't mean, like, I'm giving you a location. I'm just saying, like, as in burns, like, on your skin. I guess when like, you know, like it's a little bit stretchy or whatever. So like on the arm, it kind of gets a little stretchy and peeling.
Mhm.
So then I was like freaked out because I was like, I didn't know that his arms were like that. So I'm like crying because, and this is where I have to start telling you, you know, like I'm like very like I was scared because my thought process was Albert is going to kill me, like because I made a mistake as a parent and forgot to like really check him down, and he really got a little bit more brave than he should have. So I was freaking out because like it's gonna kill me. And Gannon was like, it's okay, like there was blood, and like he had on his arm, and as it was peeling,
What?
where did they have blood at? I should have called the hospital and just asked, you know, I don't know enough about burns, but I should have called the hospital and just asked, like,
Oh.
I made a mistake.
God.
I swear to y'all, I didn't know they were that bad. I did. So I feel horrible. So here I am. I know it's not, you know, about me, but as a person, I was feeling horrible that I didn't call Albert to say, you know, they're like this. So I told him, I said, okay, listen, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put some like aloe on your arm, you know, and things like that. And I was like, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna fix it. And all I could think about was we're gonna fix it. And I don't know in my mind how I was gonna fix it as far as the
Oh
he
my
wasn't
God,
in
this
pain. He
woman.
wasn't saying like I'm hurting or anything like that. He was more of like peeling it, like, you know, like it was like a boil. Am I saying the right word? Boil, like blister? Blister. Like it was pulling a blister, you know. So there was blood.
Damn
and
this
so I'm like
woman.
holding him, and I had blood on me. And when I say blood, let me explain to you. I don't mean like dripping out, pouring everywhere blood. So let me not like give you that thought process, because sometimes when I say like if I say flames, to me I'm like this is a big flame, you know. There was blood. So I was just so like freaked out. So I was like, we'll just clean it up. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Where's the blood at?
So much it's soaked
So the
through a
blood on his
mattress,
arms, on his
through
like,
carpet,
sheet that he
onto
had.
the
So
underlay, and
we washed
onto
sheet.
the floor.
So it was on his sheet. It was on his arms, and he had some on like
Blisters
his
and
arms,
hangnails.
I guess from like sleeping or whatever. He had some on the wall.
It's salt.
We cleaned up everything. I put a new.
Good
I
God.
put like garnish the. Am I saying our garnish the wrap thing? But a wrap thing. And I was like, we'll check it with the aloe and see if it gets better. Because my next thing was, I'm gonna assess the situation in so many hours, and if it looks, because I did look online, and it said like if it turns a yellow color, that it could be infected or whatever. And I was like, that was gonna be my next step. So I don't want you to think that I was like neglecting the fact that.
So you realize that he's got a burn. You do some treatment that you think is appropriate at the time, and then you tell yourself, you know, I'm going to do this follow up with him. Okay. So then what happens after you take care again and make sure he's okay?
Honestly, I'm pacing the house, and I know there's two things I gotta fix, you know. And when I tell you that Albert will freak out everything, so I just want you to know that. So I want you to see a picture in my mind of how I'm like afraid to be like, okay, I gotta fix these situations, and I need to fix them fast with carpet and things like that. Okay. So number one, I was like, I need to fix the carpet, and number two, I need to figure out, you know, like assess, like I said, does Gannon need to go get like some burn cream or whatever? So I said, let's get.
This is probably as good a time as I need to pause it and then pick back up after lunch.
I was wondering when you get there. Okay.
I was wondering about that.
Council approach for a minute.
Let me see. Can I still do this?
Exactly. Yes. So this is where I say the narcissistic part. She can say whatever the hell she wants. And I do believe she thinks that it's all believable specifically because she said this.
If I can have everyone back in the jury room at say 1:20, we should be able to start this afternoon.
Whoa.
On time. What we're going to do is I've been talking with the attorneys, and when we come back, there's still going to be about 3 hours and 20 minutes or so of the video to go. We will take another break during that. That's just too long to have you sitting. So we will take another break during that.
Well,
but
thank
that's
you,
what
sir.
can expect when you come back. So if you want to bring beverages or something like that, feel free to do that so that you have something to drink.
Grab your whiskey, kids. It's going to get
When we
harsh.
came in this morning, it was a sweltering 64 degrees, but it's a little bit warmer now. So, and I expect it will be this afternoon as well. So anyway, we will see you at 1:20. All rise for the jury, please.
I thought I would never feel that way about someone I didn't know, but sweet Martha helped me because I freaking hate her. I do believe that's what comes out, right? We've all got that mama bear thing in us. And instantly it's like, oh my God. And I mean, she started telling different stories the first time. Okay. Okay, I lost what I was saying. Go figure. Yeah, like I said, I think she believes that whatever she says, we will believe because she is literally that narcissistic. And I don't think she's doing herself any favors right now. I have no idea what would have possessed her to go through with this trial. How can you sit there with your head up? Well, sometimes, other times it's like hiding. But how do you even sit there, slouched over, sat up, or what the hell ever, with everybody like shooting daggers at you? Does she honestly think that she's going to get, if she gets to go to like a mental institution, or I don't know, what are they called now? If she goes and has a little holiday, I hope that they put her ass right back as soon as they consider her fixed. Or I hope that they just laugh at her and know what we know. Oh, Grady. Okay, let me just get out of here, friends. Okay, sorry about that. So, yeah, I totally lost where I was going. But yeah, very easy to dislike. Horrible liar who thinks she's a great liar. There's nothing to like about her. Look what she's done. It's not even a matter of, in my personal opinion, it's not even a matter of you prove it because, you know, I can't see that. Even her own brother got on the stand yesterday, and one of the first things he did was look over and say, "Why, Tisha?" And the jury went out. He had to get his kind of poop in a group. You felt so bad for him. There's just so very little room for doubt that she actually did this. Mind you, with an insanity plea, she is saying she did it. Just was, you know, I don't buy that. As we all know, look at all of the stuff that it's too much. And they got her, oh my God. I'll move to Colorado. That's what a person thinks. That's exactly how she makes me feel too, Maxie. So let's stop, have a lunch. I'll set up for this afternoon. And thanks for spending the time with me, friends. I'll see you in the next one.